High school football playoffs. We'll see the St. Mary Springs Ledgers take on the Omro Foxes. Two foes from the Flyway Conference finished top two in that conference. Springs came out on top, an undefeated perfect 5-0. The Omro Foxes were 4-1, their lone loss on the year to this Ledger team back on September 21st. Before the game kicks off here in a couple minutes, we'll go to our own Nick Rush, who had an interview with head coach Bob Highland of St. Mary Springs. Here's that interview.
Pre-game programming continues on 93.7 FM, and also video of this game is available as well online at radioplusinfo.com. Ledgers getting set to hook up with Omro tonight. WIAA Division 5 Level 2 action. Bob Highland with us on the phone line here. Coach, always a pleasure. How you doing?
Well, as good as can be expected, I guess.
Let's get the tough question out of the way right away here, Bob. Heavy hearts last Friday night in Lemira with the passing of Trent Scheffner. Give us your mindset as to how the team reacted to the news Friday and then how they played on Friday night.
Well, I don't know how to say this. I think they played Friday night as if they were numb. They just there was no enthusiasm, which could be expected. I think there was numbing effect on everybody. So don't know how they'll react this week. It's been a long week. Funeral tomorrow, so we'll get through it.
It was very apropos that the Ledgers scored 62 points in the win on Friday night, and that was Trent's jersey number. And it's a green out coming up on Friday night with the Omro game, and Fond du Lac High School is participating in that as well with the loss of your teammate.
Well, something like this has a wide effect. Even though the kids didn't probably know him personally, they, with his older brother and that, and the family, they knew the family, the history and so on. And so it's a loss for everybody. So it's a tough one. I thank Fond du Lac High School for what they're done and the support they're giving. And same with other teams in our conference. Winnebago Lutheran, Lemira, Mayville have all expressed their condolences. But we still have a football game to play, and I do not know how the kids are going to handle it.
Bob, in your years of coaching, because you've been around for so many years, have you ever had something like this happen before to this magnitude during a season?
No. Well, the only one, when I was grad assistant at North Dakota State, our All-American tackle got shot in a hunting accident just like this. And so I have not, since being at St. Mary Springs, no, this is something that you don't plan for at all.
Bob, there is a football game coming up on Friday, funeral on Saturday for Trent Scheffner, but let's talk about the Omro game coming up here, a familiar opponent. You took him on during the regular season to get some revenge as they won conference championship there a couple of years ago. You get some revenge now and playoff atmosphere in Lemira. What do you look for against Omro tonight?
Well, they're an improved football team. We hit them at a right spot. We had them for our homecoming. We were high. We did things right. We got off to a great start. They fumbled the ball about 3 or 4 times during the game, and we recovered them. Again, we never really stopped them, their offense. They are a very, very powerful, huge offensive team all the way through in that. So if we can create some problems and stop them a few times throughout the game and get the ball, we're in pretty good shape. They did not slow our offense down. We only had a couple plays that we did not execute well, and so they have to stop us. I guess we can say that. And, hopefully we can slow them down a little bit on offense. Their running game is led the conference, and their quarterback is by far the leading rusher in the conference. So he's an outstanding kid. And he's got two backs next to him in the backfield. They're both over 210. So it's a tough chore for our kids.
Jacob Kafer, the leading rusher on the team, who's also the quarterback, coming in at just over 1,700 yards. From what I recall doing that game, Bob, he's a player that ducks down low and tries to deceive the defense, correct?
Well, he doesn't have to duck very far because he's only like 5'7" or 5'8".
Yeah.
But 190 pounds on that frame, and he is like a state powerlift champion. He is an excellent football player. He tries to hide in there, and all of a sudden he comes out of there, and he can run away from you. Just a good football player.
Any injuries for the Ledgers, Bob?
No, we're healthy. We're physically healthy. Let's put it that way.
Right.
We're physically healthy, ready to go that way. Ezra Tucker keeps getting better each week. We used him a little bit on offense last week. He'll primarily play defense, yet it still bothers him when he makes cuts in the ankle. But other than that, we do not have any injuries.
Bob, thank you. Best of luck against Omro coming up on Friday night in Level 2 action.
Thank you.
Question. I want to get health insurance.
We request your cooperation in supporting the participants and officials. Profanity, racial, sexist, or ethnic comments or other intimidating or taunting actions will not...
Mary Springs Ledgers and the Omro Foxes. I'm Nick Bodie coming to you live here on behalf of Radio Plus Sportsman. More than happy to cover this great Ledger team all year long right now. Some pregame activity going on here. We are just about set to start here. St. Mary's Springs enters this game on a somber note after the loss of one of their players. We'll take a quick commercial break now here. 60-second pause for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we will be back after a moment of silence here from Lamira High School. I'm Nick Bodie, Radio Plus Sports with Springs Football.
Be ready for the road ahead in a new Mazda car or crossover during the Shift into Fall sales event at Holiday Mazda Fond du Lac.
Every Blast to Drive Mazda is on sale.
Like the exhilarating Mazda 6 from $209 per month. Or go all-wheel drive in a Mazda CX-5 from $219 per month. Save even more with Mazda loyalty rewards available now.
Come see and experience all that's new
and treat yourself to a test drive
at the new Holiday Mazda. It's worth the trip.
Hi everyone, State Representative Jeremy Thiesfeld here. Wisconsin is experiencing a period of unprecedented growth. Thank you for your dedicated efforts to grow our economy through public-private partnerships, job training, strong schools, and the highest-rated health care in the nation. By working together, our future is unlimited. I'm asking you to vote Jeremy Thiesfeld for State Assembly so I can continue to serve you with honesty, integrity, and leadership.
Paid for by Citizens for Jeremy Thiesfeld.
Right now, I'm being controlled by a guy named Todd.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
Both teams wish to be announced as teams tonight, so
I'm braving the weather conditions outside. So the box is full. Yeah. Zach, you got me? Yeah. I'm braving the weather conditions outside, so give me a break. And chilling.
We're not going down very far. No. Pretty good.
Myra High School, I'm Nick Bodie on behalf of Radio Plus Sports. Alongside me in the booth, Aaron Flannery. We are here for round 2 of the WIAA Wisconsin football playoffs. 2 teams from the Flyway Conference foes who met before earlier this year on September 21st, the St. Mary Springs Ledgers and the Omro Foxes. Now that game was on September 21st. Springs handily won that game, 46-14 the final score in that one. That was at Fruithfield, the traditional home for Springs, but they have played a couple of games here at Lomira. And one that I called actually back on August 31st when it was moved to Lomira after some flooding on Fruithfield. So they're very comfortable, very solid playing here, and with head coach Bob Hyland at the helm in his 48th season with the Ledgers, pretty comfortable just about anywhere, but in a tough situation here after the school was struck with some tragedy early on last week. They lost one of their players in a hunting accident. It's really kind of rocked this team. Number 62, Trent Scheffner, was tragically killed during a duck hunting accident, so the team has banded together. They carried his jersey out last week. Glow sticks being used here tonight to honor Trent, lighting up the field green here. So a somber atmosphere for the Springs team, but they won handily last week, scoring 62 points for number 62. A nice victory for them, and they're looking to just move on and keep on trucking, trying to repeat as state champions. They won the D6 state title game last year. They've been moved up to D5 due to their enrollment, so see if they can make it through here. They won last week against Dominican. That was a 62-13 victory. Meanwhile, Omro is coming off of a 20-7 win against Valders in their first round game. So we are ready to kick off here. Short little pooch kick going to be fielded by one of the up men here for Springs. And so Springs will start with the ball on about the 45-yard line. That ball was picked up by Jacob Lizo, the right guard, standing as one of the up men here. So the offense for Springs will take the field first. Leading them out there, Mitch Wechter, the senior quarterback, 6'3", 180 pounds. His fullback behind him, big Marcus Orlandoni, number 35. 2 slot backs using this flexbone formation. They'll mix a lot of guys in and out of there, but the man to watch tonight is number 9, Cade Christensen. Their best wide receiver is a big target standing out there at 6'4". First down and 10. Wechter drops back, fires out to his right side, and the first completion does indeed go to Cade Christensen. He's got a gain of maybe 6 or 7. That's going to bring up second down and medium here for St. Mary's Springs. On defense here for the Omro Foxes, their starting lineup on the defensive line, Clayton Markich, Mitchell Potratz, and Jordan Hannah-Stokes. Also see Cody Bosey get some time in there. Thomas Sodawaters, Jaden Frost, Zach Bosey, Jake Kafer, the linebackers, Cooper Krockstrom, Logan Ryder, and Ben Wellhofer, the defensive backs here for the Omro Foxes. And on second down, a big run by number 49, Jake Hoke. He gets more than enough for the first down. He's going to be brought down at about the 38-yard line as they march on into Omro territory on their opening drive of the game. Now, as we said, Omro's kicker wound up booting it really short, just a short little pooch kick picked up by one of the up men here for St. Mary Springs. They started at the 45-yard line. They've already gotten themselves into pretty darn good field position here. Now they're at about the 38 here as Mitch Wechter comes on first down and 10. I formation. Marcus Orlandoni, the fullback behind him. Jake Hoke lined up at tailback. Orlandoni's going to get the carry up the middle and heads into the teeth of the Omro defense, but the Foxes bring him down after a gain of maybe 2 or 3. Orlandoni, an old school guy, a big bruiser, and a big part of this flexbone offense that's run by head coach Bob Hyland, kind of an old school option team reminiscent of Georgia Tech, one of the few teams not being a service academy that still runs this offense, but it works very well at the high school level, especially if you have a quarterback like Mitch Wechter who knows how to make it work. He's a guy with a great arm, really excellent legs. He's broken off some big run plays here on this field before. Had about a 45-yarder against Kingsford back in August, but he's going to swing out to his right side. This one's complete to Steve Hefner on 2nd down and 5. Hefner's got a gain of about 10, so that's going to be another first down for Springs. Hefner is knocked out of bounds at, let's say, the 20-yard line. Looks like it's going to be a first down and 10 inside the red zone. So this Springs offense that has been almost unstoppable the entire year just continues to keep on rolling, averaging 41.5 points per game. Pretty balanced offensively. 1,682 yards passing, 22,644 yards rushing.
22,000 yards rushing, buddy. That's
22,000.
not bad.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You'd be impressed by that, one of these option flex bone teams. So first down at 10, Mitch Wechter at the Omro 20 in the I formation. Again, Jake Hoke, the slot back, lines up a tailback. He'll get the carry here off the left side, but he is gobbled up in the backfield. A nice play here made.
The ball slips out there, Bodie.
By the Omro defense, and
Springs does recover.
They do recover, and with the quick hands, that was Jacob Lizo. He's one of their offensive linemen who actually fielded the kickoff. He was one of the up men, so getting a lot more action with the ball than he normally does.
Well, you know, Bodie, I have seen Springs have some issues with fumbling the ball. It's never ended up with scores for the opposition, but I've been here the last 3 weeks for Springs games. And against that game against Elmira, they turned it over maybe 4 or 5 times, actually. Several fumbles, a couple interceptions. Springs rumbling forward there for a nice pickup.
On 2nd down and 12, that's number 49, Jake Hoke, big slot back, 6'3", 190 pounds. Now, usually in their typical starting lineup as the season began, it would be Jake Hoke and Ezra Tucker, but Tucker got banged up when he got his ankle hit in their game against Amherst early on in August, so they've been slowly easing him back into the lineup, but as we heard in the pregame interview, Coach Bob Hyland saying Tucker will be reserved mostly for defense, so look for number 9, Steve Hefner here, who comes in motion to get a lot of the carries at slot back. Up the middle here is Marcus Orlandoni, the fullback, on 3rd down and 5. Rumble ahead for a few, and this is going to be a 4th and very short, so decision time early on for this Springs coaching staff. It's going to be 4th down and 1. Coach Bob Hyland never shy about going for it on 4th down, especially because he knows this veteran offensive unit is more than capable of picking it up.
Well, especially when you've got Marcus Orlandoni on the field. If you need a 4th and 1, he'll get it for you, and most likely he'll get a lot more than the 1 yard needed. He's an absolute bulldozer.
Springs comes out in the flex bone. Orlandoni, the fullback, lined up behind Wechter. Man comes in motion to the left side. It will be a carry to Orlandoni, and on 4th down and 1, the big fullback rumbles ahead, and he has a touchdown. So Springs starts this game off with a bang after a short field goal. They march right down the field, and on 4th down and 1, fullback Marcus Orlandoni charges ahead for the touchdown. So Springs taking an early lead in this one against the Omro Foxes. 6-0 lead now here for Springs as they send on Levi Poss, the sophomore kicker here, to attempt his first extra point of the night. Poss, not too big, stands just 5'7" and a $155, but he's got a big leg. We've seen him made some long field goals this year, so as he tries to slam it through the uprights here at Elmira High School. That kick is good. 7-0 lead here for St. Mary's Springs. So the Ledgers will be on defense when we come back here on Radio Plus Sports. Going to take a 30-second break. We will be right back. This is Springs football on Radio Plus Sports.
Right now, I'm being controlled by a guy named Todd. Wrong button, buddy.
Got it.
You see, Todd here won this exclusive Platinum Xbox One X from Taco Bell. He's a little distracted right now.
Throw it.
Oh, boy. Todd!
Put down the chalupa!
Todd!
Grab the $5 double chalupa box for a chance to win the Platinum Xbox One X, only at Taco Bell.
Todd!
See the world from a different point of view with Fly In by Drone Service.
What's up? Come on, guys, let's go!
Wellhafer on the return.
as Springs march down with ease on their first offensive drive of the game to take a 7-0 lead after fullback Marcus Orlandoni rumbled ahead for a touchdown on a 4th down and 1 from inside the 10-yard line. Orlandoni now takes the field on defense as Omro will have the ball. Orlandoni and Cade Christensen, the middle linebackers, and Zach Wilderman's 3-4 defense. Jake Hoke and Jake Kaufman, the outside backers. Steve Hefner and Jake Barr usually starting corners. Mitch Wechter, busy man, quarterback, punter, punt returner, and starting safety. First play of the night for Omro is going to be an option out to the left side.
Trucks a couple guys over.
Charging ahead.
Still going.
Still not down is Zach Bosey, number 44. Now this is an Omro offense that is very old school. If you thought that Springs really liked to run the ball, this Omro offense employs full house backfield almost every single play. And listen to this, Aaron. Their balance offensively this year, just 349 yards passing compared to 3,436 yards rushing.
Well,
so
when you look at those big boys up front, you can see exactly why that is, Bodie.
Big offensive line here. Full house backfield now on 2nd down and 4. Going to be a carry off to the right side. And here's their quarterback, Jake Kafer, who is Jacob Kafer, by far not only the leading rusher for their team, but also in the conference, a guy that Bob Highland spoke very highly of in his pregame interview with our own Nick Rush. So close to a first down, just a couple yards away. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 here now for the Omro Foxes.
This is going to be one of the biggest tests Springs has had in a while, Bodie. They've pretty much steamrolled the majority of their opponents this whole year, including Omro, but Omro's coming out hungry.
Pitch off the left side here for Thomas Sodawaters, and looks like he's got the first down. He'll be down at about the 39-yard line, 1st down and 10, so Omro able to pick up some yards, keep things moving.
Reminds me, Bodie, could I get you a soda water?
No, you could not. Not a big club soda guy. Here we go. 1st down and 10 here for Omro. Starting offensive lineup for them, Jacob K for the quarterback, Zach Bosey, Thomas Sodawaters, and Jaden Frost, the running backs, Cooper Crockstrom, and Logan Ryder, the wide receivers. Not that they see a lot of action. A run up the middle, big-time carry, pushing him forward like it's a rugby scrum, is Jacob Kafer's offensive line as he is off for a 1st down. They cross midfield. He's not brought down until about the 45, so they march into Springs territory. Nice quarterback, nice carry there for Omro.
Well, Springs has really prided themselves on their defense, I think, so far this year, Bodie. They had a kind of a bend but not break mentality. They give up a few big plays every game, but they rarely give up more than 14 points a game.
Carry off to the right side here, and snuffed out and brought down there is Jaden Frost. Couple of defenders getting in there, and among them, Mitch Wechter, the quarterback who plays safety. He's not afraid to come up and bring the lumber. Seen him get a couple nice interceptions this year. And Aaron, he is not a guy who gets any rest. He's their starting quarterback, the starting safety, the punter, the punt returner. About the only thing he doesn't do is hold on extra points. Wait, he does that too.
No, the kid's an absolute stud athlete. He does it all, and he does it all very well.
Never comes off the field. He's the deepest defender here as Springs crowds the box on 2nd down and 10 here for Omro after no gain on 1st. Off the left side, here's a nice carry, but Mitch Wechter makes the tackle again. That was Thomas Sodawaters, and he's brought down here after looks like a loss of 1. So this is going to be 3rd down and 11, and this is an aggressive front 7 for St. Mary Springs. You do not want to be in 3rd down and long, have to get into passing situations, because that's when they send big number 72, Jake Schrouth, after you. Senior defensive end, 6'4", 240, gotten a lot of offers from colleges, and he will light your quarterback up. 3rd down and 10, Omro is going to have to make sure they protect Jacob Kafer.
That's exactly right, Bodie.
Jacob Kafer, full house backfield on 3rd down and 10. They're going to go with what they do best. They charge forward here for a short run. That one sniffed out by the Springs defense, so that's going to bring up a 4th down and long. And on comes the punt team here for Omro, led by Garrett Doms, number 43. Back deep to return. Mitch Wechter goes from his safety spot to punt returner, and this guy just does not get a lot of rest. But when you have someone with excellent field vision like that, you don't want to waste him any opportunity for him to get his hand on the ball.
Well, you nailed it, Bodie. He does have excellent field vision. He can make guys miss, and I've seen him do it many, many times. He just leaves jockstraps laying out on the field with his fleet of foot, and he bobbles the ball there.
And he bobbles it here at the 5-yard line, picks it up, carries it out of bounds, the 10. So a close call there for Springs. He'll now be starting off with his offense deep in their own territory. Looks like they're going to be out to about the 10-yard line here. Be 1st down and 10 for Springs, all the way back there.
I think he might be shaking his own head on that. He knew he shouldn't have tried to handle it, and he went for it anyway. Ended up with poor field position for Springs, but that powerful offense, we'll see what they can do. They actually came out throwing a lot more than they did running this last game against Dominican. Normally they go for about 300 rushing, 120, 150 passing, and it was a flip last week against Dominican.
And the thing you don't realize about this flexbone offense is when you have 2 slot backs lined up outside the tackles, that means you got 4 receivers who can all get vertical. We've seen them do that. They've thrown to Jake Hoke a little bit more as the year has gone on. So see if they get gutsy with that down here close to their own goal line. After a gain of 1 on first down, here comes 2nd down and 9 for St. Mary's Springs. They're backed right up here on their own goal line, sending in some extras now. Cade Christensen, the wide receiver, enters the game. Number 9 is a 6'4" wideout, also plays inside linebacker. Best friends, goes way back with Mitch Wechter, and these two have a connection. Big time in the state championship last year and all season long. See if Wechter goes his way. And 2nd down and 9 as a man comes in motion off the left side. Mitch Wechter drops back to pass, fires.
Wide open.
And a wide open receiver charging forward. Still on his feet, still not out of bounds. Finally brought down right in front of the broadcast booth at about the 40-yard line. What a return here for Ezra Tucker coming back to the field on offense. Tucker, a guy who got banged up against Amherst. He's so dangerous, so fast, and they are glad to have him. He just got them off their goal line and across midfield.
Well, that's where Springs makes their money. They get a receiver 5-6 yards down the field into open territory, and then they turn on the jets and make guys miss, pick up 20-30 yards in a chunk.
Mitch Wechter drops back to pass again here on 1st down and 10. This one is going to be a little bit low. He was looking away at Cade Christensen, had a couple defenders in his face. That's going to be incomplete. 2nd down and 10 here for Springs at about the 45-yard line. And receivers always shuffling on and off the field. They use messenger receivers, kind of similar to what Georgia Tech does, sending in the play call. So they'll rotate in a lot of guys with fresh legs. You'll see Cade Christensen, Joe Hanlon, Matthew Mowell, Steve Hefner, Aiden Ottery, Miles Ottery. A lot of wideouts and a lot of slot backs here for the Springs team. Carrying on 2nd down and 10, though, is Marcus Orlandoni. Typical go-to guy. Got gain of 4 or 5 there. So this is going to bring up a 3rd down and medium here for Springs. And as you said, Aaron, surprisingly balanced here. That can be kind of a deceptive thing. You don't expect flexbone teams to be great passing, but Wechter's really solid. They have an excellent wide receiving core, and not just short dink and dunk stuff. They've got some really serious deep threats, especially if they can get you on play action. You can get in trouble. Here comes Wechter in the flexbone. 3rd down and 4 here now. He's going to give to his slot back off the left side, charging forward with the 1st down. Here's number 49, Jake Hoke, and he picks up another 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Ledgers.
Well, Omro trying their absolute best out there. They're playing hard. They really want this. They want revenge on St. Mary's Springs, but with that coaching of Bob Highland, as you said, he's been coaching this team for 40-plus years. He's got it down to a science. He knows exactly what he needs, when he needs it, and these kids can execute.
Came there in 1971, and he has seen it all since then. Carry off the right side and falling down, tripped up on the play. Yeah, broken play, and Steve Hefner got tripped up here, so that's going to be a loss.
Speaking of Bob Highland, he's not happy with that one.
No, does not look real
out on the field.
And coming onto the field to replace Steve Hefner is Ezra Tucker, who we saw break off that big run down there on the goal line. So
Ezra Tucker's got some of the best speed on this team.
And they actually keep Hefner on there. Tucker comes in to replace Jake Hoke. So interesting decision there. 2nd down and 15 now here for St. Mary's Springs. Coming out in the flexbone, Mitch Wechter. Marcus Orlandoni, the fullback behind him. Man comes in motion to left side. It's going to be a pitch for Ezra Tucker. Tucker wrapped up and brought down here by number 33, Jaden Frost, behind the line of scrimmage. And so going to be 3rd down and long now here for Springs.
That'll be interesting to see what they go for here. Will they run it, maybe try to get themselves into field goal territory, or
3rd down?
Will they go for a little dump and dunk pass and just try to get the 1st?
3rd down at 11. They are on the Omro 30. We'll see what they elect to do. Mitch Wechter drops back to pass. Plenty of protection all day to throw. Fires up the right sideline, but just a little bit too long there.
Just missed him. They love that pattern, Bodie. They run that 10-plus times a game, and it works almost every time.
A little bit too long there for Cade Christensen. Ball goes incomplete, so 4th down and 11 now here for Springs on the Omro 30-yard line, but the offense has yet to come off the field here. So we'll see. They might go in and attempt this here on 4th down and 11. They keep the majority of their receivers in. Christensen stays in, as does Matthew Mowell. He had a big, long touchdown reception in the game I saw them play against Laconia, so they will go for it on 4th down and 11 here. Flag thrown on the field by the referee. Going Go down to the field, see if we can get the call from the official. And we do have a timeout, so we'll take a timeout here as well on Radio Plus Sports, a 30-second timeout. We'll be back right after that. I'm Nick Bodie, and you're listening to Springs Football on Radio Plus Sports.
See the world from a different point of view with Fly-In by Drone Service. Rick Schultz is certified by the FAA to get aerial video and still shots of anything from agriculture to car dealerships, real estate to weddings. Rick promises amazing photography and video from Fly-In by Drone Service that will amaze and inspire you. They are also one of the first drone services to offer thermal imaging. See the world from a different point of view with Fly-In by Drone Service. Call Rick Schultz at 920-539-7001. We've all got one, the junk drawer.
High school, this is the site of a great matchup. Two Flyway Conference foes meeting in round 2 of the WIAA football state playoffs. St. Mary's Springs on 4th down and 11 now here against the Omro Foxes, and they have elected to go for this, so they're going to line up with 2 wide receivers and a slot back out to the left side for quarterback Mitch Wechter. 4th down and 11 from the Omro 30. Wechter under center, drops back. It's a quick little wide receiver screen. A double pass for Cade Christensen. Christensen goes back to Wechter. Mitch Wechter down to the 5, knocked out of bounds just short. No, they're going to say he's in for a touchdown. And what a play call on 4th down and 11 from this Springs staff. No stranger to catching touchdowns. Cade Christensen threw his partner in crime, Wechter, a TD in the state championship last year, and they come up big on 4th down and 11. What a play call.
What a play call was right, Bodie, and perfectly executed by those boys on the field.
No fear out of Coach Bob Hyland and his staff. They are not afraid. They know this is a really competent, not cocky, but certainly confident offense here for Springs. They've been here before, these big situations. They've been to state title games. They're not afraid with the money on the line on 4th down and 11. Throwback pass from your wide receiver to your quarterback. Why not? Wechter now the holder for this PAT. That one is good from Levi Paws, so that's going to be a 14-0 lead here for St. Mary's Springs. We'll keep it right here on Radio Plus Sports. Coming to you live, a really excellent night for some fall football. Team Sports in Fond du Lac would like to wish our area teams best of luck in their playoff run and to a state title. Team Sports in Fond du Lac providing name brand sports apparel, merchandise, and equipment to individuals, teams, and institutions. Stop by and say hi to Byron and Jill Pegram and let them show you their knowledge. They are eager to answer your questions. Team Sports, 179 South Main Street, downtown Fond du Lac. So a gutsy play call here, dialing up the trick play on 4th down and 11, pulling no punches. St. Mary Springs now up 14-0 here with just a minute 30 left to go in this opening quarter of a playoff game. Springs coming in hot, as we said, off a victory where they scored 62 points last week, 62-13 blowout of Dominican. And, you know, Aaron, I've called a couple of these games for Springs now, probably 5 or 6. I have not seen a game where they did not have running clock. I've been out of here by 9 o'clock most nights. These guys just blow teams off.
Well, that's exactly right, Bodie. Them and Fond du Lac, they pretty much dismantle every single team they go against. Actually, the toughest test I've seen against St. Mary Springs was Mayville this year. I called that game against the Cardinals. Mayville had a very stout defense. I think Springs maybe only scored, well, I mean, they won by 21 plus points, but they only scored 21.
And kick return for the Foxes out to the 30-yard line, so Omro will take over there, 1st down and 10.
124 left in the first.
Their head coach is Dave Wellhofer. They are Division V as well. Enrollment is 366, and their offense averages 32.5 points per game. So I was expecting we might come in here, see a bit of a shootout, see how Omro can do on their second offensive drive. It's a very stout defense here in Springs. Full house backfield for Omro High School. Jacob Kafer, the quarterback, gives off to the right side, and just nothing going there on that run here on 1st down and 10 for Omro. 2nd down and long here now. Are they going to say that he gained 1 yard? They will. 2nd down and 9 here for Omro as they inch the ball to the 31-yard line. Still here in their own territory against this 3-4 defense for St. Mary Springs. Full house backfield here yet again. 2nd down and 9. A run-heavy attack here for the Foxes. Going to be a run straight up the gut. And brought down after just a couple of yards. The Omro backs. Almost difficult to tell. There's so many. There's a lot of beef in there. Looked like it was number 33, Jaden Frost there. Only gains a couple, though. So 3rd down and 7 here for Omro. And another chance for this front 7 of St. Mary Springs to pin their ears back and go after the QB if he decides to pass here on 3rd down and 6, actually.
Well, this could get frustrating for a team against St. Mary Springs defense. They really thrive on their big plays on offense and their very stout defense. They rarely even give up first downs, to be frank.
And Omro elects to run for it on 3rd down. No luck there, so that's going to bring on the punt unit yet again here for Omro. So 2 drives and 2 punts here for Omro. Meanwhile, 2 touchdowns on 2 drives for St. Mary Springs.
Well, I think they'll let this tick out to the beginning of the 2nd quarter here.
And that is the end of the 1st quarter of action. So we will take a 60-second break here on Radio Plus Sports. 14-0 lead for the St. Mary Springs Ledgers against the Omro Foxes. We'll be back in a minute. This is Springs Football on Radio Plus Sports.
We've all got one, the junk drawer. Batteries, paper clips, old power cords, things that on their own are useful, but together make a mess. It's easy to let our investments accumulate the same way. When was the last time you really sat down and reviewed whether or not your current investments continue to match your overall objectives and risk tolerance? When was the last time your investment advisor proactively evaluated your investments?
This is Pat Bresky with Lakeside Wealth Management. As a client of mine, you'll benefit from honest communication, personal services, and innovative strategies as we help you build and protect your wealth. Our objective is to provide you with clarity and confidence in your future and guide you along the path towards financial independence. As an independent firm, Lakeside Wealth Management has no obligation to investment product manufacturers. Our sole focus is serving our clients.
Contact Fond du Lac and Dodge County's Money Man, Pat Bresky at Lakeside Wealth Management, 923-9740 or lakesidewealthmanagement.net.
Hi everyone, I'm Josh Schneider with Silica for Your Home.
Welcome you back here to Lomira High School side of this playoff game. Round 2 of the playoffs here for St. Mary Springs and the Omro Foxes, 2 foes from the Flyway Conference. Springs won the conference this year, perfect 5-0 in conference play. Omro finishing 2nd, their only loss in the regular season, coming to St. Mary Springs on September 21st. Springs has just forced another 3 and out here. So they will get the ball back with a 14-0 lead, 11:51 left to go in this first half of action. Springs scored decisively on 4th down 11. They dialed up a trick play, a double pass from Cade Christensen, who threw it back to his QB, Mitch Wechter. Wechter now drops back to pass, fires off on the left side to the flat. This is Ezra Tucker. And Ezra Tucker, who missed many weeks of this season with injury, is back, and he looks great getting his team across the 50-yard line. This guy's so fast. Such great cutting ability and just able to take a short little dink pass there from Mitch Wechter, turn it into something big. Quarterbacks always like to have a guy with great run after catch ability.
Well, that's exactly what these St. Mary Springs receivers have, Bodie.
1st down and 10 here for Springs, coming out of the flex bone again. Carry off the right side. Jake Hoke. Jake Hoke going to get his team out to about the Omro 48, charging it across midfield as he falls down on the Lions' main here, the Lomira Lion. Beautiful high school stadium here, and it's lit up green here tonight in memory of Trent Scheffner, number 62, as we said, passed away last Friday during a hunting accident. They have really nice display across the field here showing his number and initials TS, and a lot of support here from the crowd and fans on both sides sporting green glow sticks in his memory. His teammates would love to come out here and win one tonight for him. Cade Christensen charging up the right sideline after a nice pass from Wechter. And he's finally brought down at about the 22-yard line, so a big pass here. And these guys are like Butch and Sundance, Mitch Wechter and Cade Christensen. Such a good connection. Seems like they got one of those kind of telepathic links between the two of them, and so good. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing to Christensen or Christensen throws back to him, as we saw in that last touchdown. So here comes 1st down and 10 now. Mitch Wechter with trips to his left side. One wide receiver to the right is Cade Christensen. He's going to keep it himself here. Mitch Wechter off the left side, still going forward. Do they bring him down? He's finally brought to the ground at about the 5-yard line, so it looked like what might be a passing set here for Springs. He faked the give to Marcus Orlandoni as fullback, charges ahead, and he's got his team down here on the goal line. 1st and goal from about the 5-yard line for the Ledgers.
Well, I think we can expect Bodie, not to be too obvious, but I think we're going to expect a run here, possibly from Marcus Orlandoni.
Heavy dose of Orlandoni in a couple of the games this year. I think he might have had 4 or 5 touchdowns the game I called against Laconia. They just kept going his way. He will get the carry here on 1st down. He's a big battering ram of a fullback at 5'11", 210. Also plays as an inside linebacker, so he's a guy who's not afraid of contact, loves to dish it out. One of those running backs who really makes you feel it. you're going to tackle him, especially down here in short yardage situations.
Oh, absolutely, Bodie. I've seen him knock a couple guys dead. When they go for the tackle, he gets a little bit lower than them, and they're the ones who end up in the dirt, and he ends up in the end zone.
Nick Bodie and Aaron Flannery here on behalf of Radio Plus Sports, coming to you live from Lomira High School. St. Mary's Springs now, 2nd down and goal here from about the 4-yard line. Mitch Wechter going to come out under center. I formation look here for the Ledgers. Man in motion is Ezra Tucker to the left. We have a flag. Possible false start here for Springs. We'll see who jumped on what end. And they will rule it against Springs. So Springs, who is on the 4-yard line, will be backed up here on 2nd down after a penalty flag is thrown pre-snap. If you need your furnace tuned up before the extreme temperatures come, turn to the experts at Fondy Heating and Air Conditioning, your factory-authorized Carrier dealer. Call 922-4565 to schedule your appointment today. Good luck to all area teams on their run at a state championship from the team at Fondy Heating and Air Conditioning. 2nd down and goal here. 9 yards to go now here for the St. Mary Springs Ledgers after they were backed up by a penalty. Wechter on a QB draw charges forward. He's violently spun down to the ground but gets right back up. Tough player even after taking a pretty rough-looking tackle from number 78, Jordan Hannah-Stokes, the defensive end here for Omro.
Wechter did a good job of making something out of nothing on that play. He was about to be brought down possibly behind the line of scrimmage. He did a good job of getting a nice 3-4 yard run, get himself something positive going. 14-0, Springs, 9 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. 3rd and 5 down near the goal line.
5-yard line of Omro here, and they'll give up the middle. Marcus Orlandoni, he charges ahead, very close to the goal line. Get a signal here from the referees, and no, looks like it's going to be 4th and an inch, so doesn't look like it'll be much of a decision here. They're going to stay out on the field and go for this. We saw them go for it on 4th and 11 last time, so 4th down and inches right here on the goal line. Not too tough a play call as Joe Hanlon, the receiver, enters the game, gives Mitch Wechter the play call. So Aaron, again, looks like prime Marcus Orlandoni territory, but you never know. You get
could be another double pass, Bodie.
Could get a toss off to the side, too, here to one of the slot backs in the flexbone formation. Mitch Wechter under center. Jake Hoke comes in motion to his left side. It is going to be a give, though, up the middle to Marcus Orlandoni, and he charges in easily. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the night as Springs takes a 20-0 lead here with 8:11 to go in this half of football. So 20-0 first half lead here. Levi Poss, the kicker for Springs, could extend it to 21-0, and 20 unanswered points here to start this one, Aaron. They came out hot here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. They just came out charging. Omro was showing some signs of life there to begin with. They're putting down some hard hits, laying some wood on the running game, but Springs has pretty much neutralized anything positive that Omro's had going here. The kick is up. It looks like it's going to be no good, so missing the extra point.
First real miscue of the night here for St. Mary Springs. They'll keep the lead at just 20-0. We'll take a quick 30-second break. I'm Nick Bodie. Aaron Flannery and I will be back with more from this first half of playoff action from Lomira High School. This is Springs football on Radio Plus Sports.
Edith's Tuxedo Junction has over 2,000 tuxedos in stock, now offering $40 off every tuxedo rental with our all-inclusive pricing. The groom's tuxedo is free with 5 rentals. New at Edith's Tuxedo Junction are men's suits. Over 200 suits in stock up to size 56. Whether you need a tuxedo or a suit, Edith's Tuxedo Junction has it. And best of luck to all of our area schools in the playoffs.
Hi everyone, I'm Josh Schneider with Silica for Your Home. We get innovative products.
Welcome you back to Lomira High School here. I'm Nick Bodie alongside Aaron Flannery here on behalf of Radio Plus Sports. 20-0 lead here for St. Mary Springs. They've scored 3 unanswered touchdowns to start off round 2 of the WIAA playoffs here. Looking really to be in good shape. Good luck to St. Mary Springs Academy as well as Fond du Lac from Jen and Tim Schrouth. Realtors with Adshun Jones looking to buy, sell, or build your home. Call Jen and Tim Schrouth at Adshun Jones Real Estate, 948-1149. Then call the movers. So out come the Omro Foxes here, just trying to make something happen, get on the board here. They do not want to get steamrolled by this Springs team, and this is a team all year long, Aaron, that if they smell blood in the water, they'll just keep coming at you until you get that running clock with a 35-point lead in the second half, and it's all over. Next thing you know, the backup players are in, so Omro needs to get something done here while they're still competitive in this one. 20-0 lead right now here for the Ledgers with Just over 8 minutes left to go here before halftime.
Well, Bodie, I mean, Omro's got the tools to do it. They are not a bunch of slouches here on the football field, but when you're playing against St. Mary Springs, your chances are slim to none that you're going to win the game, especially when they're a team you face often. So Springs knows Omro's game. They know how to combat it. They know what to do. They know what they like to run. And what they like to run is mostly the run.
And Springs ranked number 1. Currently, Omro ranked number 4 here after a 3-yard rush from Omro on first down. We'll see 2nd and 7. Omro lined up at about their own 32-yard line here as the linebackers start to charge up here from Springs. Man comes in motion across the right side of quarterback Jacob Kafer. Kafer rolling out to his right side, looking downfield to make a pass. He does. We finally have a pass play from Omro here, and it's a good one. Good for a first down, and finally knocked out of bounds at about the 50-yard line was Jaden Frost. So he gets his team across the Lions' head here at Lomira Field, and first down and 10 for them at the Springs 48-yard line.
I think that was the first time that Omro came out with a passing play. Am I wrong about that, Bodie?
No, that was their first pass play of the night. Not something we've seen them go to a lot, especially even in these third down and very long situations. So,
well, when you can't become one-dimensional against St. Mary Springs, you have to at least keep them guessing once in a while. We know that they're going to run it almost every single down, but when you become one-dimensional against Springs, that's when it's completely over.
Full house backfield here, dropping back to pass. Jacob Kafer, he airs it out again, looking deep up the right sideline, but that sails well over the head of his receiver. He was looking for Logan Ryder, but Matthew Mowell there in coverage for St. Mary Springs, and no completion there, just way too much air under that one.
Well, with the size of these offensive linemen for Omro, I'd like to see them pass it maybe a little bit more. They got a very skilled running back, but they had very good protection on that last play.
Yeah, and it can be tough for your quarterback to get in rhythm, Aaron, as we said, when he doesn't throw his first pass of the game until there's 6:50 left to go in the first half. So here comes Jacob Kafer now, 2nd down and 10. Carry off to the right side here for Omro. They're going to gain about 3 or 4, keeping it 3rd down and medium, as they look like they get the ball out to about the Springs 46-yard line.
Well, not to be dramatic, Bodie, but this is a bit of a make or break play here for Omro.
No, definitely, partner.
Another dead drive would be morally defeating for them.
A must-score situation here, down 20-0. 3rd down and 8 here for the Foxes. Jacob Kafer, the quarterback, full house backfield. It'll be a carry up the middle, and just short of the first down, down at about the 40-yard line. Looked like Zach Bosey, number 44. So it's going to be a 4th down and short here for the Foxes. And now the question being, does their coach decide to start going for it on 4th down? We've seen Bob Highland go for it a couple times in this game.
Well, I don't think they have anything to lose by going for it here, Bodie.
Yeah, no man's land territory here at their, the opponent's 39-yard line. Kind of too long for a field goal, too short to justify punting. So 4th down and 1, I would expect it to be another up-the-gut run here for the Omro Foxes.
Springs loads the box, expecting the same.
Jacob Kafer takes the direct snap, and he's up the middle on a quarterback blast. 4th down and 1, flag thrown. Looked like Kafer did pick up the first down, but flag comes in from the side judge. So we'll see what that was, as it'll be 1st down and spring for the 1st down and 10 for the Foxes. Aaron, I keep wanting to call them Foxen. I keep thinking of the old Brian Regan bit about, one ox, 2 oxen. It just sounds odd hearing it plurally with an S at the end of it.
The Omro Foxen. I say go for it. Why not?
Yeah, I ate 2 boxen of donuts this morning.
Well, I ate 3.
So the penalty yardage going to be marked off here against Springs. That's going to move it ahead even further for Omro now.
Omro gaining a little confidence now. Let's see how they come out here.
And penalty goes their way, but they had 120 yards of penalties last week in their first-round playoff game. So going to be trying to keep it a little bit cleaner here tonight, and you can't afford to make many mistakes here against Springs as they line up 1st down and 10 on the Ledger's 20-yard line. Charging inside the red zone here, Jacob Kafer under center, 2 wide receivers to his left side. Going to be a speed option out to the left, gets the pitch out, but stopped after absolutely no gain here, and in fact driven back a couple of yards is Zach Bosey, met by a host of defenders. Looked like Matthew Mowell and Mitch Wechter, who will be credited with the tackle there. 5:05 left to go here in this first half of action here. Round 2 of the WIAA playoffs. St. Mary Springs scored 3 unanswered touchdowns to start this one off, but after a missed extra point, 20-0 lead right now here for the Ledgers, as their defense is backed up on its own 19-yard line here. It'll be 2nd down and 10 here for the Omro Foxes. Jacob Kafer, full house backfield here.
Couple receivers split out.
And he's going to give off the left side. Now he keeps it himself. A little bit of trickery, but not escaping from the big mitts of Jake Schrouth, number 72.
Well, I think that's the most success they've had so far, Bodie, is these quarterback-designed runs have gained them the most positive yardage the entire night, and that's not exactly saying a lot.
Not at all. So we'll see what they dial up here on 3rd down and 8. 3rd and 8 looks like they're going to switch out a couple of their receivers. Jacob Van Gorder takes the field here for Omro. He's alongside number 13, Logan Ryder. And now Cooper Crockstrom also out there at wideout as well. Jacob Kafer here, the quarterback. 3rd down and 8. Kafer drops back in the shotgun. Jacob Kafer dialing, looking deep. And Matthew Mowell there in coverage on Logan Ryder, and he knocks that ball away in the end zone. They were looking for something in the corner of the end zone, but another nice denial there. These DBs playing really well here tonight for Springs.
Absolutely. It was a decent throw. It was a well-designed play, but it's a difficult throw to make. Back corner of the end zone, 20 yards out with tight coverage.
And as a speedy receiver, Mowell knows something about how to burn a defense, so doesn't let it happen to him there. He might be tested again here, though, on 4th down and 8 as Omro stays out here on the field. They're going to go for this. 4th down and 8 from their Springs 16-yard line. Jacob Kafer drops back to pass.
That's a hard hit to a man that did not have the ball.
Yeah, so a couple of flags coming in on that one. 4th down and 8. Doesn't look like Springs will be able to get off the field. As you said, Aaron, this could be an unnecessary roughness penalty. We'll see what happened exactly there. Several flags flying in here from the officiating
Well, I
crew.
think he was expecting the receiver to get the ball in just a second or so. And the quarterback got him on the pump fake. Absolutely dropped him in his tracks. Good to see him stand up right away.
And Coach Highland on the field here discussing with the official.
I think he may be claiming it was within 5 yards.
Yeah. Discussing what exactly will take place here as Marcus Orlandoni checks back in at linebacker. And the referee will rule half the distance to the goal line for Omro, so it is going to be a 1st down and 8, and Coach Highland doesn't look happy about that at all. He had his team on 4th down and 8. Another penalty marked against them to keep this Omro drive alive. So here comes Jacob Kafer, quarterback here for Omro.
This is exactly where Omro wants to be. They've got these big boys up front, only 8 or so yards away from their own goal line. This is where they thrive.
And charge straight up the middle here from Kafer.
Not thriving on that play, however.
Nope, on 1st down and 8 gains maybe a couple, so it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7 here for this Springs defense that's been pretty good on the goal line all year long, not allowing many points, but especially really excellent between the 20s. As you said, Aaron, bending a little bit, but rarely breaking down low here. A lot of veteran leadership on this defense. Jake Schrouth and Carlos Ozels, seniors on the defensive line, along with Cade Christensen, leading a linebacking core comprised of several junior players. See who gets run at here on 2nd down and 7. Run's going to go off the right side, but the quarterback, Jacob Kafer, not able to get much going here as he is spun down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and medium now here as we tick under 3 minutes left to go in this first half of action. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Foxes.
Well, these games go fast with the Omro Foxes when they pretty much solely run it, rarely getting out of bounds, running it up the gut almost every single time, keeping the clock ticking.
As you said, Aaron, a game where you're down 20-0 when you don't have a high-flying passing attack and you don't have a hurry-up offense that can get you back in games quick. This could mean a lot, so kind of a must-score situation for the Foxes. 3rd down and 5, carrying it off the left side. Finally brought down.
Flag on the play, though,
Another flag does come in here from the sideline. Carry looked like it was to 44 Zach Bosey, but we'll see what the penalty was here. A lot of laundry on the field this drive here, and this one looks like it'll be marked off against Omro. As the supporters in blue tonight here look very happy with the ruling off that one. So finally a mistake here from the Foxes. The officials will back the ball up. They were down to about the 2-yard line after that rush play, but looks like they're going to knock it back a couple of yards here. So a 20-0 lead, 2:28 left to go here in this first half of football. Smith & Hatch Insurance is proud to help bring you coverage of the St. Mary Springs Academy playoff game. For the best policies in home, auto, and life insurance, visit smithandhatch.com. Go Ledgers. 3rd down and 16 for for Omro after a disastrous penalty, and this is when that front seven of Springs loves to just pin their ears back and come after the QB. Jacob Kafer drops back to pass. That one incomplete over the middle. Not much time to throw at all, and on 4th down and 3rd down and 16, they come up empty. So now 4th down and 16, likely a field goal situation, Aaron. I know you are down 20-0, but with 2:18 left to go in this half, do you just want to get some points on the board?
Well, I think that may be the case, but I'm not sure they're confident enough in their field goal team to surely get that 3-point kick up there. So I think they may be saying, hey, let's go for it. Why not? What have we got to lose? We're the underdogs. Let's show them what we got.
Looks like the offense will take the field here. Jacob Kafer, 2 wide receivers to the right side. Cooper Crockstrom isolated to his left. Kafer all day to run. He's going to scramble ahead. Fires to the right side of the end zone and caught in the corner for a touchdown. Looks like Logan Ryder. Matthew Mowell gives up the TD in coverage there. And a nicely run route there by Logan Ryder. Good job scrambling up front from Jacob Kafer. Bought some extra time, and his receiver was able to make something happen on 4th and 16.
Quite a play there from Kafer. He was flushed out of the pocket. He thought about running. He stepped back behind the line of scrimmage. He almost stepped over the line of scrimmage as he was throwing, but he made a nice throw to an open receiver in the corner of the end zone.
On comes kicker Clayton Markich here for Omro, number 42. He'll be attempting this extra point. See if he can make it 20-7 as he tries to narrow the deficit.
It's a negatory.
It is negatory. That is going to deflect under the crossbar here. So 20-6 the score here from Lomira High School. Nick Bodie and Aaron Flannery will be back for more Springs Academy playoff football here after this 30-second break. This is Springs Football on Radio Plus Sports.
Hi everyone, I'm Josh Schneider with Silica for Your Home. We get innovative products in every day at Silica. I think one of the coolest things we have right now is something we don't even sell, our new digital price tags. We know you're busy, so these tags do the shopping for you. They search the internet twice a day, and if they find a product at a lower price, it automatically changes the Silica price. Shop Silica for the best sales, service, and pricing every day. So come on in and check them out. We hope to see you soon.
At Summit
Welcome
Auto,
back to
we treat
Lomira
you
High
like
School.
family.
Nick Bodie and Aaron Flannery here in the booth on behalf of Radio Plus Sports, calling some excellent playoff action between two Flyway Conference foes. St. Mary Springs Academy still on top 20-6, but they did just give up their first touchdown of the game to the Omro Foxes. 2:09 left to go here in this first quarter of action, or in this first half of action rather, and Springs now will be back deep to return here again, see if they can get themselves on the board yet again with just over 2 minutes left to go here in this first half. Kicking the ball off is going to be Garrett Doms here for Omro. Had short pooch kick, and again he pooch kicks it down to the 48.
Oh, they got what they wanted. Fumble on the field, and Omro definitely recovers.
So a surprise onside kick almost there, and Omro does get the ball back. A gutsy call, but you got to have guts to win playoff games.
It looks like they might be calling that for Springs.
Do they say Springs maintains possession? Looks like they do.
They do.
Trying. That's the second time they tried that. The first time I thought it might have been an accident, but looks like they're kind of trying that slaughter onside look, just testing and trying to surprise the upmen. So
well, I saw that slip. I saw that go directly into an Omro player's hands. He fell right on it. Must have slipped out. Somebody did something at the bottom of the pile. Springs takes the ball at their own 50.
So the boys in blue do maintain possession. Out comes Mitch Wechter in the offense in their base flexbone formation. He drops back to pass. Good protection. Checks down to Matthew Mowell. Mowell across to the 45-yard line where he's spun down by a host of defenders.
Trying for the screen on that play. Omro sniffed it out pretty quickly.
Not much going on there. Second down and medium, though, after a decent gain. So we'll see what happens here. 2nd and 7 here as the clock ticks down to 1:45 left to go in this first half. Mitch Wechter drops back to pass again. Again looks over to the right side, finds Mowell. And Mowell is tackled out of bounds. The clock will stop as he is knocked out at the 35-yard line after picking up another 1st down and 10.
Springs is very determined to score, put up another score on this before this first half ticks away, Bodie.
Springs currently with a 20-6 lead here, 1:37 left to go in this half. And, you know, as we said, Aaron, they can be kind of deceptively great with that. They're such a run-heavy team coming out of that flexbone formation, but they're really good at spreading it out. Here they have 2 wide receivers to the left side as Jake Hoke is in the slot. Mitch Wechter, though, comes on a QB draw off the right side. He's brought down at about the 30 after a gain of 5 yards. So clock continues to tick now. 1:26 left to go. It'll be 2nd down and medium here for the Ledgers. Back in the base flexbone formation, Orlandoni, the fullback behind Mitch Wechter. Man in motion to the left side. Wechter drops back to pass. Looking deep for Cade Christensen up the left sideline. He's got a step. And is he able to keep his feet in?
Calls
No,
it out
the
of
official
bounds.
rules it out of bounds. So a beautiful pass, but it's carried just a little bit too far, even for a big 6'4" target like Cade Christensen. So heartbreaker there on 2nd and 5. Now here comes 3rd down for Mitch Wechter and the Ledgers offense.
Well, you said it exactly right when you mentioned how deceptive they are with their passing. Mitch Wechter can absolutely sling the ball around the field. He's throwing perfect spirals 35, 40 yards down the field sometimes. He set Christensen up very well on that, just couldn't get the feet in bounds.
I formation here now for the Ledgers on 3rd down and 5. 1:09 left to go in this one. Wechter going to give to guy playing tailback technically on this play, even though they're switching up their formation a little bit. That was Jake Hoke, who they've lined up at tailback out of the I formation a few times here tonight. He doesn't gain very much, though, so it looks like another 4th down here for Springs. See if they elect to go for it yet again as Mitch Wechter and Cade Christensen confer here with the coaching staff. Timeout called. We'll keep it right here on Radio Plus. So, Aaron, have you been surprised so far at what you've seen here in this first half?
Well, Bodie, yes and no. I mean, I knew that Springs would come out firing. I knew that Omro wouldn't really have much of an answer, but to tell you the truth, I'm surprised it's not up a little more than it is right now. Omro's been putting up a bit of a fight on some of these defensive stands, but Springs has been able to pull it out. They've been going for it on 4th down a few times here, and getting it on 4th down as well.
As we mentioned pregame, this is the 2nd time these two teams have met. Omro's only loss of the year came to Springs back on September 21st. They got hammered in that one, 46-14, so this one's been a little bit closer, but Springs did come out very strong. 3 unanswered touchdowns to start this one off. 20-6 lead now here with 1:03 left to go here in this first half. It's going to be a 4th down and 4 for Mitch Wechter. Comes out in the flex bone. Looks like Steve Hefner and Jake Hoke, his slot backs. Hoke comes in motion to left side. He'll drop back to pass, though. Mitch Wechter looking to throw all day to run out to the left side. Some scrambling room. Possible holding call here, and he throws an interception. So bad just became worse. Looked like one of the offensive linemen got called for holding with a back judge, and then Wechter forces a pass that gets intercepted. See what happens here. The Omro coaching staff likely decline that penalty there for holding and just take the pick. Find out about that one. So defensive personnel heading onto the field now for St. Mary's Springs, who takes the field tonight in all blue, white socks and white helmets. Meanwhile, the Omro Foxes, dark helmets, white jerseys, gold pants, and pink socks here for Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October.
Well, I definitely don't hate those Omro uniforms, Bodie.
No, not bad. A little bit of swagger to them. But
looks like a Boston College vibe going on.
The Golden Eagles and the Foxes could perhaps have a little bit in common. 50 seconds left to go here in the first half of this round 2 of the WIAA playoffs. Certainly no strangers to the WIAA playoffs is St. Mary Springs. They've won 3 of the last 4 in Division 6, won titles in 2017, 2015, and 2014. Bob Hyland's probably got more high school football championships than he can count at this point in his career. His 48th season with the team, looking to go for another one after they had an undefeated state title run last year, 14-0. Jacob Kafer rolling out to his left, but in all kinds of trouble, chased down in hot pursuit, finally slammed to the turf by Jake Schrouth after firing that pass. So incomplete here for the Omro Foxes on 1st down. Now 2nd and 10, 43 seconds left to go here in this one, when they have the ball on about their own 27-yard line here for the Omro Foxes. Come on now here on 2nd down and 10 here. See how aggressive their coaching staff decides to be. Down 20-6. They would probably like to get on the board one more time, but difficult to see if they'll have enough time. Kafer checks out to the left side. Quick little wide receiver screen here.
Well, Bodie, when Springs turns it over, which I've actually seen them do a fair amount of times, to tell you the truth, when they turn it over, they rarely give up a score directly after that turnover.
Yeah, very good defensively and offensively, so we'll see what happens here on 3rd down and 9. Looks like the Omro staff going to be content just to let this clock tick down and head into halftime. 15 seconds left as the clock continues to run, so we will likely just see a kneel down here. 20-6 lead here at Lomira High School for the Ledgers as the final seconds do tick down, and we will send it into halftime. So both teams heading off to the sideline. The fans dressed in blue here tonight, happy with the result of that one as their team comes out, scores 3 unanswered touchdowns, maintains their lead 20-6 here at the end of the first half of football. Going to take a break here now for halftime, but we'll be back with the second half of this one. Nick Bodie and Aaron Flannery in the booth. This is Springs Football on Radio Plus Sports.
At Summit Automotive, we treat you like family.
We're right here off Highway 41 in Fond du Lac.
And we have one of the largest selections of vehicles.
That's right, over 400 to choose from.
At Summit Automotive.
New Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams.
And one of the largest used car and truck selections.
That means you can drive one home today.
We'll give you our best deal.
Our best value.
You have our word on it.
Come see us. We'll go
the extra mile for you.
At Summit Automotive, Fond du Lac.
Signature Homes was founded about 25 years ago. Shortly after we started our real estate business, we realized there was a need for new construction. So many times we're out showing property to buyers and they aren't finding what they're looking for. And if we can't find them what they're looking for, we need to have another option. And so we started to customize homes and really make them specific to the customer's needs. That model has grown over the years. We started with building just a few homes and now we're building 30, 35 homes a year. We have showrooms in all of our locations. If you just want to walk in and learn more about our building company, we can do that.
No regrets. If only she'd parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today.
Your local Erie agent is Jackson Call Insurance Services, 920-923-4020.
Everson and Gibbs LLC attorneys at law provide you with all your legal needs, from corporate, business planning, personal injury, estate planning, and family law. Contact Everson and Gibbs today at 920-922-7113 for all your legal needs.
Good luck to all area sports teams this season from Anders Auto Parts of Fond du Lac. When you're looking for quality paint and parts, Anders Auto Parts is the place to go. Anders Auto Parts has been serving the automotive paint and parts market since 1956. Anders features PPG automotive and industrial paints, quality name brand auto parts, and an experienced, knowledgeable staff ready to assist you. Anders is located at 16 West Sibley Street, just off of North Main Street. Call Anders first at 922-3390. Good luck to all area teams from Anders Auto Parts.
LASIK at Optivision is an amazing life-changing procedure and more affordable than you think. Why pay over $2,000 an eye when at Optivision you'll pay only $14.95? Call 1-800-20-HAPPY to find out more. LASIK at Optivision is bladeless, it's safe. You're in the office for an hour, and most people go back to work the next day. Your procedure is done by Dr. Dudley, Dr. Dontham-Setti, or Dr. Clark, surgeons you can trust, and surgeons who have had the procedure done themselves. And after surgery, you can buy sunglasses without a prescription. Call to schedule a free screening, 1-800-20-HAPPY.
If you're looking for a job where you play an important role in your company and work in a supportive team environment,
Welcome back to Lomira High School. We are at half here of a playoff game between the St. Mary Springs Ledgers and the Omro Foxes. Ledgers currently on top here, 20-6. They came out, had a nice couple first drives, scored 3 unanswered TDs, but after a missed extra point, they stand with just a 20-6 lead here as Omro missed a PAT here as well in this one. Nick Bodie in the booth alongside Aaron Flannery on behalf of Radio Plus Sports. Whether you're listening to us, watching us, however you're consuming, we appreciate you coming out and watching this great high school football under the Friday night lights here. Hurl Insurance, serving Fond du Lac since 1919, coming up on a 100-year anniversary. Good luck to the Springs Ledgers and Fondy Cardinal football teams from your team at Hurl Insurance. Speaking of Hurl Insurance, Mike and Melissa Hurl's daughter Kelly just finished up an awesome run at the state tennis tournament. She was seeded 15th of the 64 players that made it. At state, Kelly won her first and second match, which advanced her to Friday. On Friday, she was matched up against the number 2 player in the state, and she did lose that match. Congrats, though, to Kelly Hurl on an amazing season.
Well, there's quite the group of stellar athletes from Fond du Lac. Fond du Lac, only a city of 43,000 or so people, and a lot of stellar athletes coming out of the city, and just the Fox Valley in general. Compared to where I'm from, the Northwoods, everybody up there was kind of schlubby compared to these great high school athletes. especially down here on St. Mary's Springs.
Yeah, a lot of great athletes here for Springs, and it's interesting, Aaron, watching these smaller teams, did a lot of D6 and D5 high school games, and there's guys where they're, graduating out of, where there's only 20 or 30 guys on the team. I went to Sun Prairie High School. I graduated with 620 some kids. We had this massive football team, usually 80, 90 guys on the roster. It was tough to get playtime. I mean, we had a couple guys who went D1, but there are some players here on the Springs team. Jake Schrouth comes to mind, two-way star in the offensive and defensive lines. He is a monster. And Mitch Wechter is a guy who could start not only for any team in the state, but probably just about any position. If he wasn't playing quarterback, he could play running back, wide out, safety, really anything you need him to. This guy would see playtime with any team.
Absolutely. I think it'd be interesting to throw him at, well, not that he doesn't play several different positions, but I think it'd be interesting to throw him at a couple different positions, wide out, running back, just to see how he does. But that arm that he's got combined with his speed, his good field vision, he's made for being quarterback. Height, he can see over the line. He's got it all, and a good name for a quarterback.
Mitch Wechter just sounds strong. And he's a guy who had a really tremendously interesting box score last year when they beat Iola Scandinavia 35-12 in the state title game down there at Camp Randall in Madison. They were playing D6 at that point. They've won 3 of the last 4 Division VI titles. They got bumped up to D5 this year due to enrollment, but Wechter that game finished with a rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown, and a passing touchdown. Caught a throwback there from his partner in crime, Cade Christensen. These two guys, I've seen a lot of interviews, talked to Coach Highland about it a little bit. They've been best friends since way back in the day. They just kind of got that mental connection. They're in sync, and it doesn't matter who's throwing to who. They're just going to be able to find each other out there.
Well, it's cool to see something like that. I mean, when you go to a small school like this, you're bound to be friends with the players along with you, but to see that kind of connection between those two highly skilled, athletic, impact-making players, it's really nice to see. It's a cool connection to see going on with St. Mary's Springs there.
And since the turn of the new millennium here, St. Mary's Springs has won 7 Division VI titles. They won the WIAA state title since 2000 and 2002, 2009, 2011, 12, 14, 15, and 17. As we said, they are defending D6 state champs, although they dethroned the defending D5 state champs in the Amherst Falcons, who had three-peated last year. I thought that would be a much tighter game when I went to go call that one. That was back on August 24th, but that was a 34-0 blowout. And even without Ezra Tucker, Springs just didn't look like they missed a step at all.
No, I'll be curious to see if they end up playing one another again, because Springs may end up just having to go mostly through the Flyweight Conference on their way to the state title. It's odd to see. They may have I don't have the bracket in front of me, but I think they can potentially end up playing 3 teams that they've already faced off against on their route to state. And if they've already faced off against them, well, they've already beaten them, and most likely handily.
Yeah, they played some good teams this year. Recapping their season so far for the Ledgers: Week 1, August 17th, they had a 51-0 blowout against Markesan. Following week, as we said, 34-0 victory against Amherst, then 35-0 against Kingsford. That was a team that traveled all the way from Michigan. Played that game here due to flooding at Fruth Field, and I felt terrible for those players. They drove 6-7 hours. They got slammed too. So the next week, a 28-0 victory. This Springs defense did not give up their first touchdown partner until September 14th. That one in a win against Winnebago Lutheran, and even then it was 42-7. So
well, Bodie, I was at that game, and to tell you the truth, that wasn't a defensive touchdown. That was an interception for a pick 6. So their defense not even giving up a score until after that. They've been there. I mean, Springs offense, it's absolutely amazing. They put up points like crazy, but even more impressive, I think, is their defense. You try to run it, most of the time, maximum, you're going to get 2-3 yards on a play. You try to pass it, they're going to blow past your offensive lineman, sack your quarterback within seconds. They have, most of their opponents have nothing to go with. It has to be just absolutely morally devastating for them.
And they do average 41.5 points per game this year. As we said, deceptively balanced for a team that runs the flex bone. You might look at them, just assume they're an option team straight up, but well, they do have 2,644 rush yards coming into this game and 43 rush TDs on the year before this one. They also had 1,682 yards passing, along with 15 pass TDs. So a really great quarterback in Wechter, some dangerous receiving weapons here for Springs. And guys, it's kind of Cade Christensen and then a lot of other guys they switch in. Those messenger receivers always checking on and off the field, but some games it's been Matthew Mowell, Joe Hanlon. A lot of guys have gone out there and had big games. And they'll throw to the slot backs as well, and Jake Hoke and especially Ezra Tucker once he's back and fully healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bodie, they work in a lot of guys into their office, like you mentioned. Christensen, Mao, Hoke, they all get touches, and they all get effective touches as well. It's not just, hey, let's burn it down and see what happens. When these guys get the ball, you expect them to break a play for 10, 15, 20 yards, maybe you get to the end zone. They've got that kind of speed, that kind of agility. Almost all the players that are going to get touches, they've all got the ability to score a touchdown like that.
Yeah, and very unselfish play, as you said, a system that really spreads the ball around, not one particular star, just kind of really whoever they feel like the best matchup is for them. They've had games, and they kind of have had the ability to diversify. That was the word Bob Hyland used when I talked to him on the phone a couple of weeks ago. He said, we feel like a really diverse offense. We can run when we want to, not when we have to. We can throw it whenever we want to, and there's games they've come out and kind of aired it out, gone with that approach, spread the field a little bit more, and then there's games they just hand it off to Marcus Orlandoni 45 times, let him chew out the clock. So really, you never know what you're going to see with the Springs team.
Well, that's exactly right. And you mentioned Coach Bob Hyland. I was talking to Terry Davis earlier today. He said he interviewed Hyland a few years ago, and he was asking him, he said, with all these years coaching, what do you remember the most? Is there a season you remember the most? Is there a state championship you remember the most? He said, well, at a certain point, I've won so many championships, they kind of all start to blend together. But what I really remember most is the first 1 or 2 seasons when we lost almost every single game. People wanted my head. People wanted me gone.
Yeah, they started out. He came in 1971. His first 2 years, they were 1-15-2, so not a great start. He was a star offensive lineman coming out of North Dakota State, won a national title there in 1969, spent a year as a grad assistant, then came out here to Springs. But yeah, rough couple of years, although I think he's more than made up for it in his 48 seasons.
Well, I'd say so. And you mentioned him at North Dakota State. His son actually quarterbacked 3 years for North Dakota State as well. I believe he ended up being an All-American quarterback after he replaced their starter who got his knee torn apart in a game.
Yeah,
so very successful team, the Highlands, or very successful family, the Highlands. He said he wants to coach, I believe, until 2024. His grandson right now is in 5th grade, so when he turns 18 and he graduates from Springs, that's when he's going to retire.
Pretty cool stuff. I saw that interview, too. He's a great guy, a class act, and currently leading one of the best football programs in the state of Wisconsin. #1 St. Mary Springs up right now 20-6 against the #4 Omro Foxes. With 3 minutes left to go at halftime, we'll take a 2-minute break here on Radio Plus Sports. I'm Nick Bodie. Myself and Aaron Flannery will be back here to call the second half of this great high school football playoff matchup. This is Springs football on Radio Plus Sports. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
If you're looking for a job where you play an important role in your company and work in a supportive team environment, join Spectrum today. As a customer service representative, you'll represent the nation's fastest growing TV, internet, and voice company and help bring Spectrum services to the communities we serve. We offer a competitive salary, best-in-class benefits, complimentary services, paid training, and excellent opportunities for growth and advancement. Interested? Go to jobs.spectrum.com today.
Quality service savings every day. That's what you've come to expect from us at FloorQuest, your flooring and cabinetry destination. We've always provided the best quality flooring and cabinetry for your home, and now our inspired cabinetry and flooring products are doing that more than ever before. Get inspired today and save. In stock, expanded selection, everyday low pricing, along with interior design help and professional installation means the best is in store for you at FloorQuest, Washburn Street in Oshkosh, Rolling Meadows Drive, Fond du Lac.
To feel good about your smile and your dentist, visit Sorauer Dental. They are dedicated to personalized dental care. So for your family dental needs, visit Dr. Todd Sorauer at 845 South Main Street in Fond du Lac.
Come and grow with Burke. We are a company on the move and are looking for great people that want to grow with us. Hi, I'm Mike Phelan, President and CEO at Burke, a local company that creates quality and innovative playground equipment. Our team maintains a culture of enthusiasm, innovation, and customer service. We are currently looking for full-time first and third shift manufacturing employees. Burke offers a competitive wage and benefits package, on-the-job training, and a signing bonus. Learn more about our open positions at bciburke.com. That's bciburke.com.
Hopper Silk
Welcome back to
Screening and
Lomira
All-Star
High
Trophy
School.
is your
Decided
source
a
for
great
Fond du Lac.
matchup here, a playoff game, WIAA round 2 of the playoffs. The St. Mary Springs Ledgers ranked number 1. They're currently up 20-6 against the number 4 team in the Omro Foxes. These two teams both competing for the Division 5 state championship. Just a couple of seconds left here to go in this halftime before we head into the second half of action. Team Sports in Fond du Lac would like to wish our area teams the best of luck in their playoff run and to a state title. Team Sports in Fond du Lac providing name brand, sports apparel, merchandise, and equipment to individuals, teams, and institutions. Stop by and say hi to owners Byron and Jill Pegram and let them show you their knowledge. They're eager to answer your questions. Team Sports, 179 South Main Street, downtown in Fond du Lac.
Bodie, have you been to Fond du Lac much other than calling these games?
Not all that much, no.
Well, Bodie, I'll tell you what. I come here, I'd say, every single day. It's a great town. Bodie and I went to UWO together. I recently graduated. He's on his way to graduation. Bodie, now you recently got hired in Milwaukee for a nice radio job. Is that right?
I did, working out at 105.7 FM, The Fan, out with Leroy Butler, Bill Michaels, and the gang. So, that'll be fun. But for now, just focused on wrapping up the high school playoff action and whatnot down here. I had we had a high school doubleheader actually at Titan Stadium a couple weeks ago. We had Oshkosh North and West both playing. So this is just really kind of a cool time of year. I like this. When the weather gets cold, playoff football starts. It's always a nice part going into Thanksgiving, being able to watch the state championship. Unless you're a Sun Prairie Cardinal, which I am. They lost the state title game last year, but at least it wasn't a running clock in the state championship like my junior year. We played Arrowhead. They ran us right off the field, and that's something this Springs team might very well do. I talked to Nick Rush, and he said, honestly, this Springs team might just go on blowing everybody out right into the state championship. There might not be anyone who can hang on the field.
Well, that could very well happen, Bodie. Fond du Lac actually playing against Arrowhead tonight. We'll see if we can get you a score update on that. I would imagine Arrowhead is a very good team, but Fondy has been rolling this year. I've always wanted to see Fondy take on St. Mary Springs. I'd love to see how it would play out.
Yeah, kind of interesting, these interdivision games. As we mentioned, there's a lot of athletes, on even these smaller division schools who certainly be able to compete there. There it just kind of becomes almost about your roster size. When you got 70 or 80 guys, you're able to kind of rest players, whereas Springs is playing so many guys both ways. And, God forbid anybody like Mitch Wechter gets banged up. You lose not only your starting quarterback, but your safety, your punter, your punt returner, your holder on kicks. It's a lot. So these smaller roster schools, you got to make sure that you're staying healthy and you're staying rested.
Oh, absolutely. Last week here against Dominican, now they're in the playoffs, so they're a quality team, but they barely had enough players to field the team. I think they had 22 players, maybe 23 total, so they pretty much had 11 for offense, 11 for defense, but their quarterback could really chuck the ball as well. I have to give big props for them. That team had a lot of heart coming out, and they paid their respects as well to Trent Scheffner wearing green wristbands last week as they played against St. Mary Springs.
Yeah, the cheer team here for Springs standing at the front gate here tonight at Lomira High School. They were handing out green glow sticks, as you said, in honor of number 62, Trent Scheffner, who was killed tragically last Friday during a hunting accident. This team is certainly banded together around him, a lot of closeness, and that's a situation where you're really glad to have a guy in Bob Highland whose leadership is so strong, knows how to deal with these young men and lead them through a tough time like this. But, Aaron, I think they've done it right. They blew the other team off the field last week, scoring 62 points, and now that number 62 jersey of Trent Scheffner hangs on the fence here right behind his bench in front of the home crowd. They have him in their hearts tonight, and they have a 20-6 lead here as the kickoff unit gets ready. Omro will field the ball here first to start off this second half.
Well, Omro only down by 2 scores, so if they come out with confidence, if they come out hard, if they can make a couple big plays downfield, they can try to give themselves a chance in this game. We'll see how it works out, but that stout St. Mary Springs defense is going to be tough to get through.
Omro trying to avenge their lone loss of the year this year was to Springs back in September 21st. And Omro, an up-and-coming team in the Flyway Conference, but I'm reminded of great 20th century philosopher Richard Flair, who once said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Bob Highland and this team, defending state champs, they are the man tonight. See if Omro can come back in this one down 20-6. Omro will be fielding it here about the 15-yard line, charging forward. Finally slammed down at about the 31 there for Omro. Looked like that was number 17, Ben Wellhofer. So they'll have it first down and 10 at about the 32. So, Aaron, what halftime adjustments, if any, do you have to make? 20-6, not out of it, down 14 points, but the run game hasn't been working superbly well. They did have some success. Do you think we'll see Omro throw it, air it out a little bit more here?
Well, I'd like to see them try. That was their lone touchdown, was frankly a bit of a lucky toss to an open receiver. But I don't think they can continue to run it up the gut and just pray for success. That has not been effective for them so far at all. I'd like to see them maybe pitch it towards the outside, maybe run some sweeps, maybe give it to a wide receiver or two to run an end around. They've got to try something different than just handing it off up the gut.
Jacob Kafer takes the direct snap straight up the gut here. The quarterback charges ahead, gains 5 yards here, so now 2nd down and 5. And he's playing against a really excellent front seven for this Springs team. Big Jake Schrouth, senior, 6'4", 240 pounds, got a couple of college offers. He's a scholarship athlete, looks like. Justin Ditter, Carlos Ozels, Jake Hoke, and Jake Kaufman, the guys coming in there as the edge rushers. And, oh, by the way, Marcus Orlandoni, middle linebacker, also playing fullback, a rough guy to try to run around, just banging straight into the middle. But not much here going on. Looked like that was number 79, Billy Schrouth, made the tackle there. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 here for Omro. Running straight into the teeth of the defense on that one was Zach Bosey for the Omro Foxes.
Well, I think the Foxes are used to pushing around some of the weaker Flyway Conference opponents with that big front line. Those boys are huge, but the St. Mary Springs front line are no slouches themselves.
See if they can outfox the defense here on 3rd down and 4. It's an up-the-gut run, nothing too fancy here. And nothing gained is running straight into the teeth of the defense, but stopped immediately was Jaden Frost. So 4th down and 3 now at their own 40-yard line. This kind of approaches that no man's land territory again, Aaron. You might see them go for it, short yardage, 4th down and 3. See if they keep their offense out. Now it's going to be 4th down and 1 here after a gain of a couple. So on the 42-yard line, looks like Omro will elect to keep their offense out there and go for this one. We've seen a lot of 4th down conversions so far here.
From both sides.
In this game, yeah, from both ends. We'll see if Jacob Kafer can make this one work. Senior quarterback operating out of a full house backfield. He's got Cooper Crockstrom isolated to the bottom. And an up-the-gut run here, and this might be gone. It is gone. Streaking in for a touchdown. Oh, he's finally brought down at the 9. Superhuman effort there from Mitch Wechter to bring him down at the 8, but a big run on 4th and 1 for Jaden Frost. And, Aaron, we were saying we thought they might have to get creative. That one just straight up the middle. And a big gain gets them down to 1st and goal now at the 9-yard line.
He got some blocks, made 1 or 2 defenders miss, and then he just had in open field a great effort from Wechter to chase him down there. And I think that could be a touchdown-saving run ultimately.
We'll see now if the Springs defense can hold on the goal line. Full house backfield here for Jacob Kafer. Kafer off the left side here trying to get something going. And Omro will score a touchdown here, so they have narrowed the lead. Was 20-6, now going to be 20-12, pending an extra point, though we did see them miss their first PAT of this game. So a big run play broken off here by Omro, and they've come out hot here in this second half.
Well, we said that's exactly what they needed to do, and that's exactly what they have done. This is a bit of a game now, Bodie. We thought this may turn into a blowout or an absolute runaway, but 20-12 here, looking to make it 20-13. This could be a 1-score game depending on this PAT.
Yeah, and when it was 20-0, you were kind of starting to get that worrying feeling that most teams do have when they're down to St. Mary Springs. But the PAT is good here, and this is now just a 1-touchdown game. So Lomira High School, the site for what looks to be a heck of a ball game. Nick Bodie and Aaron Flannery will be right back here with 9:25 left to go here in this 3rd quarter. You're listening to Springs Football on Radio Plus Sports.
Hopper Silk Screening and All-Star Trophy is your source for Fond du Lac High School football apparel, t-shirts, long-sleeve tees, hooded sweatshirts, and crewneck sweatshirts. Order your playoff football gear online at hopperwear.com or stop by 77 North Main Street in Fond du Lac. 50% of all sales will be going back to the Fond du Lac High School Athletic Department. Support the team with great-looking gear from Hoppers, and you'll be making a donation to the Fond du Lac High School Athletic Department too. Visit hopperwear.com.
Edith Tuxedo
Welcome back to
Junction
Elmira
has
High
over
School,
2,000
cited as round
tuxedos
2
in stock.
WIAA High
Now
School
offering
football playoff
$40
game.
off
20
every
to
tuxedo
13
rental
the lead
with
here
our
for the St. Mary's
all-inclusive
Springs
pricing.
Ledgers as they will
The groom's
have the
tuxedo
ball
is
kicked
free
off to
with
them
5
by
rentals.
the Omro
New at
Foxes,
Edith
who just
Tuxedo
scored a
Junction
touchdown
are
after a
men's
couple of
suits.
big run plays
Over
on this
200
opening
suits
drive.
in stock,
Third quarter,
up to size
9:25 left to go
56.
here in the third.
Whether
as the
you
ball
need a
is teed
tuxedo
up by
or a
Clinton
suit,
Marquette.
Edith Tuxedo Junction
He'll
has
boot
it.
Short up the middle. Going to be fielded by one of the return men, though. Here's Joe Hanlon, number 10, up the left sideline. That looked like it could have been very dangerous. Hanlon, a speedy wide receiver. They were trying to get it to the upbacks. They let it fall back to Hanlon, and he's got it out to about the 43-yard line. So Springs, Aaron, as a result of these short kickoffs, has had incredible field position to start. Kind of a weird strategy.
Yeah, I don't really understand what they're going for that. They almost got, I think, the fumble that they were looking for, getting into one of those stone-handed linemen in the front there, but
perhaps just very concerned about these Springs returners, but whatever the case, first down and 10 now for the Ledgers at their own 43-yard line. Mitch Wechter drops back to pass, fires out to his right side, underneath check down to Cade Christensen. He's got a gain of about 4, and these two just play pitch and catch all night long there. It's going to bring up second down and 6 here with 9:07 left to go in this third quarter of action.
I think Springs is going to come out angry after that score. I think they're thinking to themselves, we're St. Mary Springs. You're Omro.
Yeah, this.
We're not going to let you score on us. We're about to run this score up.
As we said during the halftime break, Aaron, a stout defense that went almost a month without scoring, without giving up a defensive touchdown here. So Marcus Orlandoni imposing his will here and knocking back a couple of Omro defenders.
I wouldn't want to try to tackle that young man.
Oh, that guy is like a runaway Coke machine, man. He looks like the fridge for the Bears back in the day, but he's got some really good speed. If he can build it up and kind of pound those big legs into the dirt, he can be tough to stop. 5'11", 210. He has a big back with a lot of momentum, and he charged it forward there, got his team another first down, 1st and 10 Ledgers at about the 42-yard line of Omro as they have crossed midfield now.
I'm curious to see if they'll come out throwing it or running it more often in the beginning of this third quarter.
Steve Hefner in motion to the right side, little misdirection, but give is going to be up the middle to Orlandoni yet again, and he's a guy, Aaron, that if they get him in rhythm, he just kind of seems like one of those big power backs who gets better as the game goes on. The defense tires out, he really starts to gel with his own line, figure out how the holes are gaping, and there, another big 7-yard gain for number 35.
Well, that's exactly right, Bodie. Both you and I have covered quite a few St. Mary Springs games so far this year, and when you get Orlandoni into rhythm, it's literally like a huge boulder rolling down a hill. He just builds momentum and momentum, and no matter what's in front of him, he's not going to stop.
Spread formation, 2-by-2 wide receiver set here for Mitch Wechter. Checks it out to the far right side where he has Cade Christensen on the perimeter. And on 2nd and 3, that's going to be good for a first down. Apologies, that was Matthew Mowell with the catch there, as they're always switching receivers. Christensen now does come in to take the field alongside number 54, Jake Kaufman. Kaufman, an outside linebacker, see what role he could be playing here as Matthew Mowell goes to the sideline after making that nice first down catch. 7:35 left to go in this third quarter of action. Round 2 of the WIAA playoffs here. St. Mary Springs I formation now. First down and 10 here from the 30-yard line. Giving up the middle. Off to the right side now after a nice cutback is Jake Hoke. Hoke usually a slot back in that flex bone formation, but they've used that traditional I here where he plays tailback, and pretty big for a tailback at 6'3", 190, but stumbles ahead for a gain of 5. Miles Ottery checks in the game at wide receiver. The messenger wideout gives Mitch Wechter the play call, and Wechter's look really composed here tonight. He's played well. No surprise here from him. Well, maybe surprising to see him catch a big touchdown pass from his partner in crime, Cade Christensen, on 4th and forever early on in this one. 2 wide receivers to the left side now for him, but he'll give up to Orlandoni on 2nd and 5. Did the ball come out? No. Looks like they maintained possession, but that Omro defense fired up. Looks like they got really big pep speech here at halftime. It's going to bring up 3rd down and medium as Jake Schrouth checks back into the game here on the offensive line.
Omro really showing some fire. They are coming out. They intend to win this game. They were down 20-6. They've got all the momentum rolling for them right now. St. Mary Springs marching down the field a bit. They got him in a nice 3rd and 5 here, though.
3rd down and 5. Mitch Wechter in the flex mode formation. Man in motion to his left side. Wechter on play action. Fires deep downfield. He's got a man. Christensen, touchdown, as Cade Christensen taps his feet. So on 3rd down and 5, Play action, he faked the give to Orlandoni, found number 9, and when in doubt, partner, just dial up number 9. Cade Christensen, a big 6'4 target, a great route runner, burned his man, and it was all over.
Well, I take back what I say about Omro having momentum. That is flip to St. Mary Springs, I'd say.
Well, all the momentum in the world can't outdo talent when you have a great quarterback targeting a 6'4 wide receiver that he's been best friends with for a number of years. That connection is going to be tough to stop here. 26-13 lead now here for St. Mary Springs. And that lead will be extended now to 27-13 after a good PAT made here by sophomore kicker Levi Poss. So St. Mary Springs and Omro trading punches here. Great high school football game. Aaron Flannery and I will be right back after a 30-second break. This is Springs football on Radio Plus Sports.
Edith's Tuxedo Junction has over 2,000 tuxedos in stock, now offering $40 off every tuxedo rental with our all-inclusive pricing. The groom's tuxedo is free with 5 rentals. New at Edith's Tuxedo Junction are men's suits. Over 200 suits in stock up to size 56. Whether you need a tuxedo or a suit, Edith's Tuxedo Junction has it. And best of luck to all of our area schools in the playoffs.
Are you looking for an exciting career change? Join the team at Michaels Corporation.
Welcome back
Michaels
to
is
Lomira
currently
High
hiring
School
for
side of
multiple.
this round 2 high school playoff football game. St. Mary Springs, after a big touchdown from number 9 Cade Christensen, is up 27-13 against their Flyway Conference foes, the Omro Foxes. Omro scored a touchdown on their first possession of this half, so these two teams just trading punches, Aaron. I'd love to see this turn into a shootout. These are two teams that are averaging 41.5 and 32.5 points per game, respectively, coming into this one. Levi Poss will boot it deep to Omro. Going to be fielded by Wellhofer here at about the 20-yard line. He cuts up to the right side, and he got absolutely popped there on the sideline by Jake Hoke. Jake Hoke getting some well-deserved praise there from his teammates after slamming the return man down at about the 28-yard line here. So it'll be 1st down and 10 Omro with 6:03 left to go in this third quarter of action. Wow, this really an excellent play there on special teams. Jake Hoke, a guy who gets it done offensively, defensively, and they're on the kick coverage unit. A lot of guys who get a ton of playing time. We mentioned Mitch Wechter before, but Jake Hoke's certainly a guy who gets more than his fair share of play time here on this team.
Absolutely, a lot of multifaceted players here on St. Mary Springs. I think that's kind of their identity, is use your best talent as much as you can, and why not?
1st down and 10 here, full house backfield. Thomas Soda Waters comes in motion to the left side, but getting the carry is Zach Bosey. Bosey charging up the sideline, 1st down, and finally knocked out of bounds after about a 15-yard gain here. So this Omro offense has finally come to life after they were unable to score. Springs came out and scored 3 unanswered touchdowns to start this one off. Looks like something happened during halftime. They were finally able to find some sort of life.
Well, buddy, it looks like they had that play contained, but Hosey was able to just turn it up, get around the corner, turn it up the field for a nice 15-yard gain. Coach Allen cannot be happy with that one.
And my old high school running backs coach Jack Marchese always used to say, when in doubt, bounce it out. They're able to find some stuff in the perimeter. So 1st down and 10 now here for quarterback Jacob Kafer. Kafer, the senior QB, full house backfield. A couple of guys behind him. Is going to give up the middle here. And down to the 50-yard line is Jacob Kafer, who faked the give and went ahead on a QB blast. So he's down right on the Lomira Lions' head here at midfield from Lomira High School. There's going to be 1st down and 10 from the 50-yard line on the dot. I'm sorry, 2nd and 4 from the 50-yard line on the dot. Jacob Kafer, the leading rusher on his team as a QB, and also really dominated the rushing category in the Flyway Conference all year long. Kind of a sawed-off short little quarterback, only about 5'8", but really mobile and a wizard with that pitch. Sometimes on those option plays, you never know when it's going to come out. Here he gives straight up the middle on 2nd and 4, gain of about 2, and that'll set Omro up with a 3rd down and short as they charge into Springs territory.
Well, Omro certainly not giving up. They were not in a great position early in the second and going into the half, but
yeah, easy to panic too against this great Springs team that's known for jumping on people early and not giving up. But now 27-13 lead for Springs. Omro with the ball, 3rd down and 2, a give up the middle.
Looks like they're going to get it.
And it looks like that will be enough to pick it up. That was Zach Bosey on the carry. And he's going to be very close here to the 1st down. But even if it's not, Aaron, we've seen so many 4th down conversions here tonight. I don't think there's any chance we see this punt team come on the field.
I'm not sure that we've seen a punt all night.
Even if it is 4th and short. I don't believe we have. And looks like a first down. It's going to be very close here.
Looks like they've indicated 4th on the sticks over there.
And so it's going to be 4th and about a grain of rice here for the Omro Foxes. Very, very, very close. Reminds me of that Sunday night football game where the official brought in the little paper card between the ball and the chain gang. So really close here. I'd expect something straightforward and up the middle, maybe a Jacob Kafer QB blast here.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. Kafer runs with a very low pad level, very angrily.
Does have Cooper Crockstrom split out wide to his right, though, along with Logan Ryder on the right side. Give up the middle, and it is a QB blast here for Jacob Kafer. Kafer able to get 5 and 6 yards a pop consistently on those straight-up-the-gut plays, so that'll be enough to move the chains. First down and 10 for the Foxes.
Fooling the St. Mary Springs defense on that one a little bit. I saw somebody from St. Mary Springs get in there in the backfield and put an absolute lick on Zach Bosey, but turns out it was a quarterback keeper.
Yeah,
gained himself 5-6 yards up the middle.
And not a whole lot of, trickery going on here. We've seen some trick plays certainly dialed up. That pass back to Mitch Wechter comes to mind, but it's just been a lot of old school football saying, we know you know where it's going. We're still going to come out and try to blow you off the ball. When you have a team that runs the ball as much as Omro does, a lot of it's just straight up old school, up the gut. Reminds me of the Marty Schottenheimer quote where he said, I know where it's going, you know where it's going, I'll tell you where it's going, but I'm going to line up my best players against yours, and we'll see who blows who off the ball. So Omro looking very good here. Another 4-yard rush. 2nd and 6 now for them with 3 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Omro working from left to right here on your radio dials. For those of you listening at home, those of you on the video stream, seeing our beautiful cinematography of a gorgeous fall night here. Perfect for playoff football from Elmira High School, one of the nicer high school facilities I've seen in the state of Wisconsin. Beautiful press box, and fans certainly happy to come out here and watch this game. A lot of people out in blue here tonight in support of the St. Mary Springs Ledgers. They won the D6 title last year, have moved up to D5 now, but they don't look like they have missed a beat whatsoever. 3rd down and 3 now here as their defense takes the field against the Omro Foxes. Into the game checks Jake Van Gorder, the wide receiver for Omro. Wideouts haven't gotten too much action here tonight. See if Van Gorder catches a pass out to the left side at receiver is Cooper Crockstrom. Full house backfield for Jacob Kafer. He's in the shotgun. Kafer going to give up the left side here on 3rd down and 3. Going to be another one very close to a first down, Aaron. And with these kind of 3 yards in a cloud of dust plays, it can be difficult for the referees to see if you got a first down definitively.
Oh, looks like they're going to drop it to 4th and 1 once again.
4th and 1 at the Springs 30. No thought of bringing on the punt team here. 14-point game. Springs on top 27-13. Coach Wellhofer electing to keep his guys out there. So we'll see what senior quarterback Jacob Kafer dials up here on 4th down and 1. We've seen him take it directly or hand off to his partners in crime. Man in motion comes along the left side. That's Soda Waters. And another straight up the gut charge here. QB blast from Jacob Kafer. And it's enough to move the chain. So, Aaron, this is what we've kind of seen from Omro. They need 1 yard, they get 2. They need 3 yards, they get 4. They just keep on trucking. Nothing fancy, but able to consistently get a push up.
Definitely nothing fancy, but they're just using old school bully tactics. I saw, I don't know if you noticed there, but Kafer got a nice boost from his running back on that play. Shoved him hard in the back to get him over the first down line.
Yeah, it kind of turns into that rugby scrum where guys are just using you as like you're the ball, just trying to shove you forward here. So Kafer, left side give here to Zach Bosey. Bosey getting about 3 or 4 yards there on 1st down and 10. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and medium as we tick down to 50 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter of action.
Well, Bodie, I think one thing that makes this Omro Fox's running game so dangerous, Kafer can keep the ball in his running back's hands until the very last second, fooling me half the time, and I'm up here in the press box. And then he keeps it himself, and he's able to pick up decent yardage with it. He obviously did in that last play, but let's see what we got here.
Well, you can fool the defense doing that, Aaron, but you certainly need to be careful that you and your running back are at least on the same page. You can give up a fumble, and against a defense like Springs that's very smart and quick to react, they'll jump on that and take that the other way. So.
Absolutely. Got some laundry on the field here, Bodie. Let's see what the call. It's going to push Omro back.
False start here called on the Foxes. That's going to be a loss of 5 yards, make it a 2nd down and 13 where it was just a 2nd and 8 here. So they had 120 yards of penalties last week in their first-round playoff win.
Well, they've been a bit more diligent in this game. I think Springs breathing a bit of a sigh of relief on that as Omro had continued to trudge forward small chunks of yard at a time, picking up first down after first down.
2nd and 13 here. What looks like it'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Charging ahead and into the open field. He might be gone for a touchdown, and he is. A score there from Thomas Soda Waters on 2nd down and long. Took it off the left side, and he was gone.
We have got a game here, Bodie.
We do indeed. That'll cut the lead to 8 here as the kicker Clayton Marketch will come off, try to make it a 7-point game with 6 seconds left to go here in this 3rd quarter of action. So St. Mary Springs in unfamiliar territory. They've had running clock in almost all their games here so far this year. Springs is dominating most opponents, but Omro here has their 2nd shot at the champs after losing to them on September 21st. They've come out here and played well. Field goal, or the PAT, is going to be good, and that's a 27-20 lead here for Springs with just 6 seconds left to go here in this 3rd quarter of action. So a tight ball game here in the playoffs at Lomira High School. We'll be right back after this, a 30-second break. This is Springs football on Radio Plus Sports.
Are you looking for an exciting career change? Join the team at Michaels Corporation. Michaels is currently hiring for multiple shop positions in the Brownsville location.
Heavy-duty truck mechanic, light truck mechanic, trailer mechanic, agricultural mechanic, and shop assistant.
Members of the Michaels team enjoy competitive wages and generous benefits, as well as in-house programs that promote continuous education and career advancement. Collaborate with like minds, connect with your community, construct your future. Apply at michaelscareers.us.
Welcome back to high school playoff football here on Radio Plus Sports. The St. Mary Springs Ledgers hold a 27-20 lead against the Omro Foxes, who just scored a touchdown. If you need your furnace tuned up before the extreme temperatures come, turn to the experts at Fondy Heating and Air Conditioning, your factory-authorized Carrier dealer. Call 922-4565 to schedule your appointment today. Good luck to all area teams on their run at a state championship from the team at Fondy Heating and Air Conditioning. Another short kickoff here for Fond du Lac, fielded by one of the upmen for St. Mary Springs. And slammed down into the turf, but once again, Springs will start off with the ball at the 45-yard line. So, Aaron, are you shocked they just don't continue trying kicking this deep? I mean, I don't know if they're trying to get a fumble, like you said, or maybe they're just that worried about these return men here for Springs. But whatever the case, they'll give the Ledgers the ball in great starting field position. Mitch Wechter and the guys come out first down and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Well, I mean, Omro's offense has certainly picked it up since the first half, but their defense has not been holding. So the fact that they do choose to keep kicking in the short field is really peculiar.
Two wide receivers to the right side. Cade Sable sees some of his first action. A QB draw from Mitch Wechter. A gain of about 2 or 3. Looked like kind of a broken play there, Aaron. So it'll be 2nd down and long here.
Well, that may have been the case, but good job making something out of nothing there.
Mitch Wechter's so good at that, a great improviser. We know this about him. He's a guy who can pull it down, scramble, make really anything happen. So we'll take a 60-second break here as the clock ticks down. That was the final play of the 3rd quarter. We head into the final stanza of this one, a 7-point playoff football game. This is what it's all about as you get to the end of October and into November. Everything on the line here. St. Mary Springs trying to defend their state title. We'll be right back after a 60-second break. This is Springs football on Radio Plus Sports.
The tradition of Bob's Pizza is making its way around town. The Cornelli team is making fresh-to-order baked pizzas at 13th and Main and the original location on Merrill Avenue. Fresh take and bake pizzas at all 3 Cornelli locations. Listen to this deal. Get 2 free 2-liter sodas with the purchase of the 2-for-1 take and bake Bob's Pizza. Get your gas, beverage, and get your pizza at all 3 Cornelli locations. 13th and Main, East Johnson, and North Fond du Lac. More options than ever to get a legendary Bob's Pizza. Call 922-6505 for delivery.
We're proud to be part of life's special.
We welcome you back to Lomira High School, the site of a tight playoff game right now. The St. Mary Springs Ledgers holding a 7-point lead right now, up 27-20 against the Omro Foxes. Mitch Wechter and the Ledger offense here working from left to right, charging against this Omro team. They've got the ball now on the Omro 46-yard line. He comes out in the flex bone, gives up the middle to Marcus Orlandoni, the big fullback on 1st and 10. Orlandoni stopped after not much of a gain. Looked like getting in there to make the stop on that one was Clayton Marketch. So it's going to be 2nd down and 8 here in this 4th quarter of action. Good luck to St. Mary Springs and Fond du Lac from Jen and Tim Shrouth Realtors with Adshin Jones. Looking to buy, sell, or build your home? Call Jen and Tim Shrouth at Adshin Jones Real Estate, 948-1149. Then call the Movers. Some movers and shakers on the field here for the Springs team as they flip it out to the right side. Here's Ezra Tucker, one of the more dangerous weapons they have. He's loose up the right sideline, and Ezra Tucker, who was missed by this offense greatly after he injured his ankle against Amherst, has a big gain for them. That's going to be a 1st down. He's got it up here very close now to the red zone as they approach the 20-yard line.
Great move there by Tucker. 2 men had him there in the open field, picked up a nice block, made a nice juke to make a man miss.
And they'll keep him in here. They've been a little bit worried trying to conserve him, but he'll stay in there at slot back along with Steve Hefner. Behind Mitch Wechter is Marcus Orlandoni. Orlandoni, the big fullback, loose up the middle, and another rushing TD for the runaway Coke machine that wears number 35 out there. And this coaching staff ecstatic here for St. Mary Springs. Just old school football, that flex bone formation right up the gut for Marcus Orlandoni. He gives his team a 33-20 lead here as Springs just kind of continues to play keep away here in this 2nd half, answering score for score.
Yeah, that's, I think your prediction is coming right, buddy. You thought, maybe we'd see a shootout, and at this point, that's kind of what it's turning into. We'll see how Omro answers. So far since the beginning of the 2nd half, they've answered quite well, but Springs answering right on back.
Oh, if you're an Omro.
Off the sidebar there for Springs on the PAT. Omro getting into the backfield on that kick attempt, so is going to remain 33-20.
So another missed extra point there from sophomore kicker Levi Paus. He is a young guy. The pressure might be a little bit much here in the playoffs as this is a tight game, but now just a 13-point game as opposed to 14. And these close games can kind of come back to bite you here. So we'll keep it right here on Radio Plus Sports. Smith & Hatch Insurance is proud to help bring you coverage of this St. Mary Springs Academy playoff game. For the best policies in home, auto, and life insurance, visit smithandhatch.com. Go Ledgers. So 1st down and 10 here for the Ledgers. 10:47 left to go in this game. 33-20 lead right now for St. Mary Springs Academy. They've been trading touchdowns back and forth with Omro ever since this 2nd half started up. So see if the Foxes can answer with another one and then try to get either a turnover or something to get the ball back and tie this game up as they're down 13 points now. Levi Paus, who just missed the extra point, on now to kick it away, boot it deep. He stands just 5'7", but he's got a big leg. He's going to kick it. It'll be fielded by Omro at about the 10-yard line. Charging right up the middle. Return man's going to be brought down about the 33.
Hit hard by Jacob Hoke.
Yes, slammed by Jake Hoke. He's been making some big plays here tonight all over the field. They've played him at slot back. They've lined him up as a tailback in that I formation. He does play outside backer in that 3-4 defense. And here, man, making some plays on special teams. Hoke, a big guy, very large, versatile athlete. They can use him anywhere. He's 6'3" and 190 pounds. Really good speed, so line him up defensively here now. 1st down and 10 for the Ledgers, or for the Omro Foxes, rather. Ledgers defense creeps up on the line a little bit. Jake Kaufman, number 54, looking like he might blitz. Kaufman almost sniffs out the option play. Marcus Orlandoni will finally get Jacob Kafer down to the ground after Orlandoni scored a big run play. So, man, that was a nice evasion there by Jacob Kafer, the quarterback for Omro. Jake Hoke had him dead to rights, but Orlandoni had to come in and clean that one up.
Well, he made a nice move to make a man miss, but ultimately ends up with only 3 yards.
2nd down and 7 now here for the Omro Foxes at about the 35-yard line. Defense is out there on the field. A lot of two-way starters. Cade Christensen out there at outside linebacker. Marcus Orlandoni and Jake Hoke both play linebacker, along with Mitch Wechter, the safety, also the starting QB. Starting QB for Omro has been Jacob Kafer, and he's been a great weapon for them in the run game. Trips to his right side now. Going to be a speed option. He pitches out, gaining a few, and finally brought down there was Jaden Frost. Jaden Frost will have his team with a 3rd down and short, maybe 3 or 4 yards to go here. Nice little option play there, Aaron. Yeah,
absolutely. 3rd and short has really been been Omro's territory so far. They've taken, what would you say, almost every losing my words here a bit.
No, I
Pardon
mean,
me, Bodie.
third down and short for a run-heavy team. That's the kind of situation they dream of being in. Third down and 2 here now, as they have 2 wide receivers to the right side. Singled up to the left here is Jacob Kruckstrom. Man in motion now. Slot to the left side here. Going to fake the option pitch, but it's an up-the-middle run here for Jaden Frost. Frost picks up a first down. So, Aaron, that's what I think you were trying to say was these third down and short situations, they need 3 yards. They're able to get 4. They need 4. They're able to get 5. They're just kind of converting by the skin of their teeth. But when you're not a flashy team trying to get 10 and 12 yards a pop, you'll take that and just keep on moving.
Well, that's exactly what I was trying to say. They get 3-4 yards a time almost every single play. But when you keep doing that and keep doing that, eventually you end up near the end zone. You can bust one out for a nice big play and score a touchdown.
First and 10 at their own 45-yard line now here for Omro. Jacob Kafer in the full house backfield. It's going to be a pitch on a reverse, a double pass here coming.
A dead duck in the air.
And this is going to be intercepted by Steve Hefner initially. It was a double pass from wide receiver Ben Wellhofer, but we saw a flag thrown. It was a dead duck, as you said, Aaron, kind of just hung in the air there. Wellhofer, not an experienced quarterback, intercepted by Steve Hefner.
But there's laundry on the field, so let's see how this plays out.
Do have a
I think
flag.
they may be calling maybe calling defensive interference on that, which is a play I certainly wouldn't agree with.
Well,
but I'm not the one wearing the stripes.
Well, we'll see how the officials rule this one here. Coach Bob Highland out on the field with his arms up in the air as if to say, what? We intercepted it. What are we talking about here? He's going to confer with the official now. And we'll see where this penalty's going. Coach Highland does not look pleased here. One of his assistants pulling him back onto the sideline. Emotional situation here with a 13-point lead. 8:31 left to go in this playoff game against a heated rival here in this flyweight conference in the Omro Foxes.
I think the call is going to be ultimately.
Yeah, it will be. Ruled a 10-yard penalty on St. Mary's Springs. They're going to be a first down and 10 for Omro after they got gutsy, tried to dial up their own double pass, and their wide receiver doesn't have as good of an arm as Cade Christensen had. He did throw an interception,
Not quite,
but bailed out by the Springs defense here. So give off the left side here to Soda Waters. Soda Waters going to be down at about the 38-yard line. He gives the ball back to the official. Going to be second down and 8. Second down and 5. They give him a nice, generous ball spot there. So see what they do here is they check some fresh legs into the defensive line here for St. Mary's Springs Academy. Ledgers dressed all in blue with white helmets and white socks. Fox is the away team in this one. Dark helmets, gold pants, white jerseys, and pink socks for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Jacob Kafer, the quarterback who is the leading rusher on his team, just continues to make it happen from that position, Aaron.
Absolutely. He's really been leading this team.
And Kafer and, of course, Springs quarterback Mitch Wechter, 2 guys that are probably among some of the fastest on their entire rosters. They're kind of option quarterbacks. We've seen them dial up some pass plays, but for the most part, this has been one that Omro has tried to decide in the run game, pounding it up the gut and then dialing up a little bit of trickery every now and again. First down and 10 here for them. 7:35 left to go here in this game. Full house backfield now for Jacob Kafer. Sends a man in motion to the left side. Jacob Kafer going to take it himself again. Couple of blockers up front as he runs into the teeth of the defense and just met by a host of blue jerseys. Hard to tell who will be credited with the tackle there. My guess would probably fall on number 54, Jake Kaufman, maybe. See if he was the one to get that one, but it's going to be a second down and 8 after only 2 yards gained. Some tough sledding there for Jacob Kafer.
What do you think, Bodie? Do you think Omro needs to try to hurry it up here a little bit? They're down by 13 with only 7 left in the game, and they've just been grinding the clock away since the beginning of the 4th quarter.
Well, I mean, they do have the ball here on their 28-yard line. You go down to score with 5 minutes left, that's perfectly okay territory. But keep in mind, Marcus Orlandoni and the Springs offense are great here. Has looked like one of the
laundry all over the field here, Bodie.
Offensive and defensive lines pointing at each other here, but looks like it'll be a false start called on the Omro Foxes. That's going to back them up from 2nd and 8 now to 2nd down and 13. Dead ball penalty. 6:45 left to go here in this one. So yeah, Aaron, kind of like you were saying, I mean, at the 28-yard line, you figure you keep on rolling. Should be on schedule to score with maybe 4 or 5 minutes left, and then you just kind of try to roll on and maintain your identity. But this is a Springs team with their run game being as good as it is, especially with a power back like Orlandoni. They can run the clock out on you, so see if they do decide to hurry it up. Omro charging up the middle yet again.
It looks like the ball is loose. Springs looks like they have it.
Ball has popped out.
We're going to see if they rule that a fumble or if they say he was down.
Bottom of the pile there looked like Marcus Orlandoni, who's got to be just itching to get the ball back, saying, give it to me up the gut a couple times, coach. Get this clock running, get on out of here. Looks like the Omro will maintain possession, though. 6:05 left to go here in this game. A 13-point lead. Springs up 33-20, but currently on their heels a little bit now, backed up to the 30-yard line as Omro just continues to run.
The Springs crowd getting into it, cheering them on. 3rd and 10.
Jacob Kafer here, 3rd down and 10. He's got to make something happen. Full house backfield. It's going to be a pitch out to the right side on the option play. And finally brought down after a gain of 6 is Jaden Frost. So, Aaron, with how much we've seen this team go for it, obvious 4th down territory here. Looked like they were content just to pick up a couple yards, make this a 4th down and manageable here for Omro after a nice run by Jaden Frost.
Well, they're playing this game like they know that they have 4 downs to do it every single play.
So 4th down and 4 here. Game potentially on the line with 5:14 left to go and their team down 13 points. Full house backfield here for quarterback Jacob Kafer. Receiver Logan Ryder singled up to his left side. 4th down and 4. They dial up another run play up the middle, but it looks like this might be short. No, they got it. So a little bit of trickeration there. I thought that was a straight up the gut run, but a second effort there, able to pick that one up. So 1st down and 10. As we said, Aaron, they just keep getting exactly what they need. Not much more, but certainly not any less. Omro able to keep those chains moving.
That's got to feel frustrating for Springs. They're having nice defensive plays. I mean, you got to be happy with giving only 3 yards a play, but when you do that 4 times, they end up with a 1st down.
Well, 4:43 left to go here in this one. 1st down and 10 now at the 20-yard line. Rolling out to his right side, Jacob Kafer, and what a tough run from the quarterback. 2 really gritty guys here. You know, Aaron, I hear a lot of people sometimes say, oh, you know, quarterbacks, they run, they're soft, they slide. And, you know, guys, Mitch Wechter and Jacob Kafer, these option QBs, they get used to getting popped pretty quickly, and they believe they can go down there and run over a DB just as well as any running back.
Well, especially this quarterback here for Omro. He's a short, stocky, strong young guy. He just puts his head down. He doesn't care. He's going to try to run through you.
Jacob Kafer joined in the backfield by Jaden Frost, Thomas Soda Waters, and Zach Bosey here on 2nd and 7. And running right into the teeth of this defense here. Brought down by a host of blue jerseys. And it'll be 3rd down and medium here as the clock continues to run. So, Aaron, they're really running the ball. And with 3:50 left here and down 13 points, you got to question whether or not they have time to sit here and play dink and dunk football. Looks like we do have a player down on the field here for Omro. So we'll keep it right here. But, Aaron, at this point, do you kind of start to run hurry up? I know it's not your identity. You're Omro. You always run the ball. But at a certain point, you got to start to clock watch.
Well, they did have success down here in the 1st quarter with a nice little passing play to the corner of the end zone that got them a score. I'd be curious to see if they go for something like that again, although it was a bit of a scramble. The receiver ran around, got open. They've got to start going for something that's going to get them a little more yardage per play than just a 3-yard quarterback run up the gut.
And after yet another QB blast from Jacob Kafer, he looked a little shaken up, but he reties his shoe, gets back into the huddle now here. Going to be a full house backfield. His receivers are Logan Ryder and Cooper Cropstrom here on 3rd down and 7. Pitches off to the right side here. Brought down after a gain of a couple there is Thomas Soda Waters. So going to be another 4th down and medium, Aaron, and they just kind of keep rolling the dice here. I mean, I understand the strategy of trying to use all 4 downs, but you're playing risky football here in a playoff situation. Win or go home, 3:12 left, and they're still down 13 points as the ball has been moved to the 14-yard line of Springs.
Yeah, I think Omro needs to try something. Well, on this 4th and 5, if they get it here, they need to try something a little drastic and go for the touchdown because they are starting to run out of time, although a timeout called on the field.
Timeout called, but we'll keep it right here on Radio Plus Sports. Nick Bodie joined in the booth alongside Aaron Flannery for the thrilling conclusion of this Round 2 high school playoff game. Hurl Insurance, serving Fond du Lac since 1919, coming up on a 100-year anniversary. We'd like to wish good luck to the Springs Ledgers and Fondy Cardinal football teams from your team at Hurl Insurance. Speaking of Hurl Insurance, Mike and Melissa Hurl's daughter Kelly just finished up an awesome run at the state tennis tournament. She was seeded 15th of 64 players that made it. At state, Kelly won her first and second match, which advanced her to Friday. On Friday, she was matched up against the number 2 player in the state. She did lose that match, but congrats to Kelly Hurl on an amazing season. Amazing season here so far as well for the St. Mary Springs Ledgers. Undefeated year. They went undefeated last year, 14-0. Winning a state title in the D6 championship game against Iola Scandinavia. Here they are now in the D5 playoffs, holding on to a 13-point lead here, 33-20 against Omro, with just over 3 minutes left to go in this round 2 playoff game. So out comes the defense, anchored by defensive end Jacob Schrouth, big number 72 down there on the D line. 4th down and 5. You would have to expect Omro probably going to be forced to air it out here. They've tried it up the gut quite a few times. Cooper Crockstrom singled up to the right side. Logan Ryder on the other. Man in motion across the front here for Jacob Kafer. Jacob Kafer on a QB blast, running forward, and he did not get enough. So a turnover on downs with 2:55 left to go. And Aaron, that might be the dagger. Looks like it's going to be a turnover, and now prime territory for Springs to just hand it into Marcus Orlandoni's gut and run that clock out.
Well, I think you're exactly right, Bodie. They wore too much time down trying to make it to the end zone, and then, alas, they come up with nothing. And now Springs, their offense has been rolling all game. They just got to hand it off a few times and try to run out that clock.
Some poor clock management here from Omro, and meanwhile we'll see some very simple, straightforward clock management from Springs. Comes out in their flexbone formation. 2 slot backs, and Marcus Orlandoni, the fullback, right behind Mitch Wechter. He'll get the ball here, no surprise there. He's the power back. That's the guy who you give it to when you're trying to chew some clock.
It looks like Omro may have been, looks like the Omro defender may have been going for the strip on that play, and I wouldn't be surprised. Saw his arms wrapped within Springs running back arms, trying to take the ball away. That may be the only chance they've got left to try to get the ball back and put up a quick score.
Yeah, 2:18 left to go in this one. Miles Ottery checks into the game at wide receiver, gives Mitch Wechter the play call, but I'd say there's about a 0% chance of any wideouts getting the ball on this one, even though they do go with a 2-by-2 spread set, trying to spread out this defense a little bit. Looks like Omro is not going to be fooled. Likely another carry for Orlandoni. It's a QB blast here. Mitch Wechter just keeps on charging forward on 2nd down and 8. Looks like he gained maybe 2 or 3. 3rd down and medium, as the clock has stopped here with 1:53. So Omro finally starting to use their timeouts. And we'll take a break here. 30 seconds. I'm Nick Bodie. You're listening to St. Mary Springs football on Radio Plus Sports.
We're proud to be part of life's special milestones. National Exchange Bank and Trust is a locally owned independent bank with big bank abilities
and convenience for all our customers in the form of competitive market-driven banking products and solutions. Greater access with more locations and ATMs across southeastern Wisconsin. And quality customer care from familiar faces and friendly voices that you've come to know and trust.
National Exchange Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
It is a great time to sell. To see interest rates as affordable as they are,
School,
home values are still
the
on the
WIAA football playoffs. Nick Bodie alongside Aaron Flannery in the booth here as St. Mary Springs has got the ball with 1:53 left. They hold a 13-point lead and looking to just run the clock out here on 3rd down and 13. The Omro Foxes put up a valiant effort, had a couple nice scores early on in this one, but they gambled on 4th and 5, were unable to get it. Turnover on down. Springs has taken possession, and now with 1:53 left after a timeout, Springs just looking to run it up the gut, keep that clock moving. I formation. Jake Hoke lined up at tailback. He will get the ball off the left side. Down after a 1st down, and Aaron, that could be the dagger with 1:48 left to go here in this game. Kind of desperation time for the Omro Foxes as their chances of advancing in the playoffs continue to dwindle here at Lomira High School.
Well, I think you're exactly right. They're going to stop the clock as much as they possibly can. They need to get a stop here if they want any chance of making something happen, but down by 13 points with 1:35 left and the clock continuing to tick down, their chances are looking slim, but they put up a very valiant effort in this game so far.
So St. Mary Springs with the ball. They'll hand it off yet again. Here comes Marcus Orlandoni. He scored a couple times in this one, and the way he's churning his legs, he might like to get another one here. He's finally brought down about the 35-yard line as the last few seconds start to tick down in this one. So Coach Bob Hyland's team has come in here, performed really, really well as the clock stops yet again at 1:17. They came out hot, 3 unanswered touchdowns. Now the official signals the timekeeper. That clock will keep running here. It's going to be about under a minute here. And it looks like they'll come out in the victory formation now. No need to hand it off or take any risks here. Just a kneel down formation for Mitch Wechter and his guys on 1st down and 10. So this St. Mary Springs team that's been through so much in the last week after they lost their teammate Trent Scheffner in a hunting accident, really emotional, tough time. We heard in that pregame interview that our own Nick Rush did with Coach Bob Hyland. He said, we're not sure how these guys will come out. They're kind of emotionally fried. Very tough time, a lot for not only these players, but this community as a whole to deal with. But they have come out here admirably, played really well, just played classic Springs football, very good, sound, fundamental football on both sides here. And now they get to walk out of this one as they advance yet again here in the high school football playoffs, moving on to 11-0 on the year. So final score of this one, going to be 33-20 from Lomira High School. As some of the players look emotional and happy here. They did hang their teammate Trent Scheffner's jersey on the fence here right in front of the home crowd, and everyone's certainly happy to come out here, get this win for him. Just keep on moving. And a heartwarming moment here as emotion starts to overtake some of the Springs players. Marcus Orlandoni, the big tough fullback here, looks like he's got some tears coming to him now. Gets embraced by his teammate Ezra Tucker. Sorry, I'm getting a little choked up here, folks, up in the booth. Really an excellent showing here. These teams embrace each other. Great sportsmanship. Tough loss for Omro, but Aaron, there's a very good Omro Foxes team. They came in here. They played hard tonight against the #1 team in the state, and they were fantastic, but just not quite good enough.
Well, this is actually one of the toughest tests I've seen for St. Mary Springs. I've never seen a team put it to them like this. They still, won. When you think about it, they won fairly handily. But Omro really showing a lot of heart out there. They got some nice young guys on this team, some veterans as well. I think they can be just as good next year. And St. Mary Springs moving on once again. It's beautiful to see, especially after the loss of their teammate Trent Scheffner this past week. You like to think that they're out there doing it for him.
Yeah, and they'll move to 11-0 now as they survive and advance to round 3 of the high school football playoffs. They went undefeated 14-0, winning the D6 state title last year. Now they're playing in D5, but they keep on moving towards Madison regardless. So this Springs team has looked really excellent, even in the face of incredible, unimaginable adversity, as the fans in blue and their green glow sticks here in honor of Trent Scheffner. They really lit things up here for him tonight. His team comes out, gets a win, and this school has really rallied, come together here. Got to give a lot of props to Coach Bob Hyland and his coaching staff, keeping these young men on track here and really doing a great job. Loving to see them go out and win after all that they faced. These young men have played really well. No doubt will come back here and play really well here in their next playoff game. And of course, Nick Bodie and Aaron Flannery in the booth. And I know on behalf of everyone at Radio Plus Sports, want to extend our condolences to the St. Mary Springs community as a whole, but especially to the family and friends of Trent Scheffner, number 62. He was honored here beautifully with a moment of silence before the game. Nice display here across the field, everyone. We are wearing camouflage and green and glow sticks out in the crowd here to honor his memory, and his teammates honor his memory in the best way they can. Winning a game, keep on moving. So we'll take a break here on the Radio Plus Sports Network. Nick Bodie and Aaron Flannery wrapping things up here as St. Mary Springs moves to 11-0 on the year. This is Springs football on Radio Plus Sports.
Dr. Kathy Doyle and her team realize that teamwork is the key to success. From the team at Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry, call 907-1400. That's 907-1400.
Hi everyone, State Representative Jeremy Thiesfeld here. Wisconsin is experiencing a period of unprecedented growth. Thank you for your dedicated efforts to grow our economy through public-private partnerships, job training, strong schools, and the highest-rated health care in the nation. By working together, our future is unlimited. I'm asking you to vote Jeremy Thiesfeld for State Assembly so I can continue to serve you with honesty, integrity, and leadership.
Paid for by Citizens for Jeremy Thiesfeld.
Right now, I'm
being controlled by a guy named Todd. Wrong button, babe.
Got it.
You see, Todd here won this exclusive Platinum Xbox One X from Taco Bell. He's a little distracted right now.
Throw it.
Oh boy. Todd! Put down the chalupa! Todd!
Grab the $5 double chalupa box for a chance to win the Platinum Xbox One X, only at Taco Bell.
Todd!
See the world from a different point of view with Fly and Buy Drone Service. Rick Schultz is certified by the FAA to get aerial video and still shots of anything from agriculture to car dealerships, real estate to weddings. Rick promises amazing photography and video from Fly and Buy Drone Service that will amaze and inspire you. They are also one of the first drone services to offer thermal imaging. See the world from a different point of view with Fly and Buy Drone Service. Call Rick Schultz at 920-539-7001. We've all got one, the junk drawer. Batteries, paper clips, old power cords, things that on their own are useful, but together make a mess. It's easy to let our investments accumulate the same way. When was the last time you really sat down and reviewed whether or not your current investments continue to match your overall objectives and risk tolerance? When was the last time your investment advisor proactively evaluated your investments?
This is Pat Bresky with Lakeside Wealth Management. As a client of mine, you'll benefit from honest communication, personal services, and innovative strategies as we help you build and protect your wealth. Our objective is to provide you with clarity and confidence in your future and guide you along the path towards financial independence. As an independent firm, Lakeside Wealth Management has no obligation to investment product manufacturers. Our sole focus is serving our clients.
Contact Fond du Lac and Dodge County's Money Man, Pat Bresky at Lakeside Wealth Management, 923-9740 or lakesidewealthmanagement.net.
Signature
And so
Homes
here we
was
are, the
founded
end of a
about
playoff
25
game, and
years
St.
ago,
Mary's
shortly
Springs
after we
comes up
started our real estate
victorious
business.
once more, beating the Omro Foxes 33-20. A nice win for them after a very tough week, losing their teammate Trent Scheffner. But these guys came back, battled hard, playing really well for him. Players overtaken by emotion, but they have come together here in a fantastic way. All the credit in the world to Coach Bob Hyland in his 48th season, still showing the leadership to keep these men together in a tough time, keep them charging on. Aaron, we saw a lot of great plays here tonight. The one that sticks out in my mind, probably that throwback from Cade Christensen, the double pass to Mitch Wechter on 4th and 11. This team does not play scared, and they play really well on both sides of the ball.
Well, I'd have to agree with you, Bodie. That play was absolutely fantastic. There was great football played throughout this entire game, but that exact play really stands out to me. I noticed it as it was happening. Obviously, I'm up in the press box, so I caught it a little bit faster. My eyes widened up. I thought, oh, they're about to do a double pass. And I saw Christensen with a beautiful rainbow over the right side of the field, floats it right in the breadbasket for Mitch Wechter, and he waltzes into the end zone. It was a fantastic play to see. And then Orlandoni running all over the football field tonight with a couple of touchdowns. He's just an absolute bulldozer of a running back, coming in at, I think, 5'10" and 210. It's tough to stop him.
Yeah, Marcus Orlandoni, a big battering ram of a football player. Overtaken with some emotion, though, after the game. But Ezra Tucker, Steve Hefner, a lot of his teammates quick to get out there, put their arms around him. So this team just continues to support each other, keep on fighting together, and they will advance to 11-0 now on the year. They try to get back to yet another state championship, which seems like it would be about Bob Hyland's 8 millionth in the 48 years that he's been there. We'd like to remind you that coming up here on the Radio Plus Sports, Football Friday Nights is coming up after tonight's game. Football Friday Nights is a weekly radio show that breaks down high school sports across the state from 9:30 to 11 o'clock. We do carry that each and every week. So signing off here on behalf of Radio Plus Sports from Myra High School. Final score in this one, 33-20. Springs advances to the third round of the playoffs, 11-0 now on the year. Nick Bodie, Aaron Flannery, on behalf of all our wonderful camera operators and producers here tonight, we say thank you, good night, and God bless.